Why are the cameras out of line? There we go. I fixed the technical difficulty. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Component Cast. Sorry, the Component Cast. Again, the meme shirts will be out by the end of the week, and they'll be only available for the 2 months that we are named incorrectly. But yes, welcome everybody to another episode of Tricogha Nights. Before we get on with tonight's broadcast, of course, we have a few things to cover. First up, I'm going to go to Mikey. Who's the artist for this show? I'm spicing it up this week. I'm flipping the cards.
Well, okay. Our artist is the Fantastic Seven. You can find them on Twitter or on Instagram at the handle NINEKI99. There is a link in the chat to their Twitter. Feel free to let them know that we sent you. And their commissions are open right now. So if you need some anthropomorphic art, check them out.
Awesome. And speaking of the game tonight, Roach, what are we playing?
Well, we're playing as we have been playing for the last 6 months.
14 episodes.
14 episodes. Is Urban Jungle, which is made by Sanguine Productions. Sanguine Productions is known for other games such as the various Iron Claw RPGs and the derivatives and the Cardinal game system. You can buy all their stuff for a substantial discount still on Drive-Thru RPG. That seems to be just a forever discount, where this book, I think, is $25.
Which is fantastic for the game system. We've all been having such a good time with it. But without further ado, I think we should be getting ready for tonight's show.
Tricogha. It's a city of dreams, they say. They might have even been right once upon a time. But now, it's a rotting, corrupt corpse on a hill. When the nation went dry, a few saw the potential, saw the money that was waiting for them. Now, you can't go a block without passing a speakeasy, even if you can't see it. And you'd be surprised just how many upstanding citizens you'll find at a table with a glass in their hands. These can't help but want money or power. Problem is when both of those mix away from the light of the law. Corruption, exploitation, and murder. It's all just another night in Tricogha.
Okay, we are back.
So, does anyone want to do a recap?
Stuff and or things may have happened.
I can do a recap. Done one in a while.
All right.
Okay, so at last session, which was not last week, because hurricanes happened. Tornadoes happened. But
No, I don't know where that started. No, it didn't. It was just a big windstorm.
Oh,
yeah,
wow, okay.
I never said there was a tornado.
We assumed.
Either way, inclement weather conditions made it very, very difficult. Roach, you sent us a video and it sounded like the sounds of hell outside. Like,
it's on my Twitter.
Yeah. Oh, it's on his Twitter. Go check it out.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, last time we met a certain wheelwright individual, a female armadillo who came in and basically put the fear of life in the entire group, including Roman, so much that we just divulged everything and came clean, and they gave us the directive. To just deal with the problem. We have got to try and bring down the mayor and the Turners any way we see fit, as long as it doesn't go back to the wheelwrights. So Helen Wheelwright, the old Modillo, then left with her armed escorts, and we were also given a blank check on supplies that we would need to undertake this mission. We then went about planning for how we were going to, 1, find where the meet was happening, and 2, get a hold of it. And we finally came up with a plan where we were going to try and get a tape recorder into the building at the same time using Team Stealth, whilst Team Loudboy threw a Molotov cocktail at a boat, and I sat by a phone. And that's where we left it. I think that covered it, didn't it?
Yeah, that basically covered it. You got a couple of items that you received, including a recorder and a boat.
The La Belle 1886 as well, if I remember correctly.
Giant rifle.
Fires 8mm rim.
Listen, sometimes you just gotta fuck a man up. You just gotta do it.
Also, there was a character who was armed that is not normally armed with a sword bayonet.
That's true. A triangular sword
is just a sword.
A triangular sword bayonet that is 56 centimeters?
Yeah, it's about as wide. It's about as long as the largest posters we sell in the store are wide.
Yeah, it's quite literally. It is what in the Napoleonic era would be called a sword bayonet.
Yes, a riposte.
So
it's okay. I'm just gonna stick him with the pointy end.
Yeah, well, that's how it's meant to be used. Doesn't have a handle. I don't believe the French bayonets have handles, do they?
It does, yeah.
Oh, it does. Okay.
I looked this up. I did look up what it looked like before I actually talked about it.
So
I'm not as stupid as you think.
However.
So that all happened.
Just can't spell.
And we decided to end it off right before we got to the bulk of the day. You only have a few days before this all is supposed to go down. You also worked out that whatever you do has to happen simultaneously at the 2 locations. Because if one thing occurs, the other thing will no longer be as attainable or easy to do, you suspect. I think, didn't you also get like a whole bunch of Molotovs? I believe you got
No, we made some.
You made some Molotovs, that's right.
Yeah.
For reasons. So it's the morning of that day. You didn't really spend much time other than just getting the supplies that were given to you by your contact with the wheelwrights. So
Harry and Lena also scouted out the factory. That's
true. That is true. Get the volume.
So I have a plan.
The La Plan.
Yeah, what else is new?
Plan.
What else is new? It's the La Plan time.
Shush, audio.
Okay.
So, the morning all the stuff arrives, Lena's going to get to the Alderman's house early, as in with the cook.
Who we've established as one of the first people there. So, yes.
And she is going to go rummaging through the whatever storage she could find for some like packing boxes that they would have had to move the Alderman in, whether any of those are still available, and sort of
you can get those. Doesn't matter. Yes, is cardboard regularly used for that kind of stuff? But it doesn't matter.
No, I assume it's like big wooden crates at that point.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Let's say it's 1920s.
It's probably wooden crates.
It's probably wooden
filled
crates,
with sword dust, probably.
Yeah, there would probably be. Let me check. Because those kinds of things you wouldn't keep around, like a moving box, that you break down. But
She only needs a couple.
There's a couple, like in the It's Proxy, Illinois, in the basement. There's a basement.
Proxy, Illinois.
Yeah.
It's in the storm shelter.
Yeah. So there's a couple down there that are empty. So yeah, that's fine.
We kept a few just in case.
Yeah. So she's going to manhandle them out of the basement.
I'll help you with that.
It's more likely I haven't finished unpacking yet. Actually, more than that's probably.
I mean, option A and option B can both be a thing.
Yeah. If they're in the basement, they're probably unpacked and just being.
Actually, no. How much room is in the basement? How big is the basement?
I'm trying to think here because building codes didn't necessarily exist at this point in time. I'm familiar with them now because it would have to be a certain size. I mean, it's not going to be a modern basement. It'll be more storm cellar-y, but it's a nice part of town, so it'll be a concrete.
It's not going to be high ceiling though, is it?
At this point, actually would be because it's on the waterfront. Just in case of flooding, you want to have it as tall as possible, so that in fact, it might have, it might have those things where it has slit windows because it's a couple inches above, like the foundation's a couple inches above the
Okay,
ground
so
level.
how high
they're,
is it? Is what I'm getting at.
Enough that a normal sized. Or I guess an average-sized individual wouldn't be.
Can I stand up? Wouldn't? Can Lauren stand up in it?
You'd be pushing it. You'd be pushing it. In
that case, manhandling the crates out into the garden.
Yeah. Okay, in the garden. That's fine. Yeah. So yeah, you can get whatever. I rolled fairly high on that luck check. You can get as many of these as you need that have been just kind of kept around in storage. So.
Larence, is Harry up yet?
I haven't checked. I can go find out.
It's okay. Just help me with these into the garden, please. Also, good morning.
Morning. He's sipping his coffee still.
Cook makes a whole lot of that in the morning.
The cooked coffee, pretty fucking good. I appreciate this. I appreciate this beast's coffee making. It's cool. Yeah.
What animal was the cook again? Did we ever establish?
He's an amorphous black blob that never has been defined.
He's a ditto. He's a ditto from Pokemon.
He exists in an amorphous quasi state until you look at him, and then he's set, and then you look away.
Oh, I imagine he's a chain smoking wildebeest. Don't know why. That's just what's in my head.
Apparently, according to the random generator I have here, he's a sparrow.
He's a chain smoking sparrow.
Yep. Chain smoking sparrow.
Oh dear, that's just gold. That is.
It is.
So.
Okay, so A, chef is perfect. B, we're getting some crates into the garden.
Okay, yeah, whatever you need, you've got there. Just I was trying to look up a chart or look up the historical weather of this day, but I'm just gonna say it's okay. It's an alright day. So
no.
Honestly, I don't care because this is still happening.
Yeah. Yeah. What else? Anybody else have anything else they want to do? Or is there a second part to this?
Waiting for Harry to get up.
Yeah, Lawrence did that thing that I said in the Discord yesterday evening after the meeting. So he's already.
Harry's not up.
I love that dice. It technically is a heads and tails thing, but it can just land on the side like an equal measure. It's not...
Just because.
Yeah. You wait a little bit, Harry. You wake up eventually. It's not, we don't have to. Yeah, you wake up eventually. Get yourself the
Lawrence
morning
gets a
coffee.
Cup of coffee.
Yeah. And yeah.
Bon matin, Monsieur Neville.
Morning.
Quick question.
What?
How tall was the boat? Is it one of these or two of these?
How tall was the boat?
Oh, do you mean the
boat?
The boat. Oh,
The boat.
No, it's a river boat. So are you talking like from water level to deck, or are you talking?
Yeah,
like,
let's go water level to deck. Let's not do like
water level
the
to deck. Okay, yeah, water level to deck. That's probably wouldn't even be an entire one of those crates. Like, it's a river boat. That's not meant to go.
It's low lying, isn't it? That sort of thing.
Yeah, well, yeah, river boats are really because it's a river. There's no like waves, and even in the Mississippi, there's no waves. So the barges literally have like 2 inches clearance from the water line. Like it doesn't matter. So, and this one's also slightly sunk, like it's on the so you got that.
Maybe we don't need this then. I was thinking it was taller.
It's only a riverboat, darling.
Well, the Seine is slightly more wavy than whatever they call the river here.
Not Mississippi. Yeah, if you're thinking about it like that, it'd probably be at most maybe one of those crates, if I had to say, because it's a gambling boat. It'd have a slightly higher water line, but yeah, it wouldn't be that high. It's not an ocean-going ship.
Because what I'm thinking is getting an analog to help Monsieur Shea and Monsieur Roman get their aim in. Rowing.
It's not a bad idea. Doesn't need to be perfect. Just needs to be good enough.
How like rough is the Sipamissy?
What'd you say?
How rough is like the water of the Sipamissy?
It's not like
okay.
I guess you wouldn't know since none of you are from this region. It doesn't like
America.
It's the Mississippi isn't a fast flowing river. It's it's a very slow moving, very wide, muddy river. Like is what it is. That's why it's called the Big Muddy. Yeah, that's what it's usually called. So for reference, I'm not going to put this on the thing because it's probably copyright. But I put it in the chat on Discord. That's what kind of a riverboat looks like in terms of its water line and kind of the general. And it's this one less fancy than that is the one you're going towards. Wouldn't be as tall, but that's.
Would you say
general?
Is it 1 or 2 stories? Would you say?
It doesn't have the third. Basically, the second story is just the boathouse. Yeah. It's
okay.
Not as fancy as that.
It's not as fancy. It's not as touristy as it's.
So you're saying the top part is where the actual boat stuff happens?
Oh yeah, in a riverboat, yeah. That's where they normally. It's right in the center and usually at the highest point, so they can see all around because you got to be able to kind of check clearance and stuff like that. So it's got that. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, Roach. No, go ahead.
No, I was just saying. So it's basically that, but I sorry for the chat for the people watching because you probably don't see this. It's a basic riverboat, 2 stories with 1 main story, and then the underside, which is probably a bit deeper than this one specifically looks like because this was meant to be a little bit more robust. Doesn't have the water wheel on the back or the actual paddle wheel on the back. That's been taken off, so it's no longer like it'd have to be towed from what you remember. And then it has the big stacks that go down to the engine room.
Big smoke.
Yeah. So that's what you know, just so we're clear on that for the plan.
Perfect.
Yeah.
It's where I'm just thinking where would the best place to aim for? Whether it be higher up or just Throw it on the lowest deck and hope for the best.
You want to try to get it inside somewhere. That's where all the fumes will be. Or close to something that might lead downstairs. I don't know if Roman is awake yet, but he might hear this conversation.
No, Roman's asleep.
Larence obviously doesn't know anything about riverboats. He's never been on one.
Roman's asleep.
Roman's snoozing. It's fair.
Roman's been going for a few days. He kind of needs a nap.
Yeah,
He's a little cat nap.
basically stayed up for 2 days straight. I'm pretty sure, close to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Roman's asleep right now.
All right,
Yeah.
fair enough.
Which means any decisions you make will probably be overruled in about 6 hours.
Give or take.
Unless they're good ones.
Yeah, which is rare.
Or they'll be overruled on principle. That's what you're saying.
Overruled. It's a good idea, but on
I mean,
principle.
who made that decision? The Alderman? Forget it.
No. No. Who made that decision? Lena? Maybe. Yeah, so Larence is just going to be like, well, we probably want to get the fire somewhere near to the stills, or at least somewhere where it'll catch something, some kind of fume or some kind of storage, or well, they don't store anything. I'm picking straws here. I'm just throwing darts at the dartboard.
Meta? Can I meta this to make it easier for people?
Sure.
Okay.
There's 2 ways to sort this out. It's either strategic, like surgical, or you go carpet.
Just throw as many as you can and hope for the best.
Basically, it's a wooden boat. You throw multiple Molotovs the length of the boat. Set as many fires as possible, making it impossible to put everything out quickly. Therefore, fumes eventually catch fire simply because of the amount of fire there is. Or you get one actually inside the ship.
Okay, so could I, to make this not meta, could I roll a mind tactics roll?
Yeah, but you'd have a fairly high DC since you don't know anything about ships.
That's fair. Listen, at least I can roll it. You know.
Yeah,
He does
I mean,
know.
like,
He
right,
does know. He does know about blowing stuff up, though, from being in
I
the
do.
trenches of World War One.
Yeah, but it's different. You gotta, if you're trying to knock out a boat, you kind of have to know
He wasn't a
what to
marine.
hit.
You know.
Yeah.
True.
You know, I guess it's somewhat applicable, but we'll see.
Tie and 2 successes.
Not enough. I was putting it at a 3.
Oh, so
Well,
close.
it's okay. In 6
it'd be a
hours,
little
Roman's
hard.
going to wake up.
But I think generally you both would, I mean, at least Larence would know that, yeah, you could target something. You could be very strategic about it, or you could just
Carte blanche.
just do just a full barrage and deal with it and let
That's
them
what he's
try
like.
and deal.
There's 2 options. You either hope to get something inside the ship, or you carte blanche it and you just throw as many as you can, and then get away in the hope that something catches light.
There is a third option,
Which Larence doesn't know.
which Larence doesn't know. And
Just a
Roman
spirit
would know,
of Roman.
I mean,
Roman's just behind him, floating around.
and Roman would know because of his previous history. So I will hold on to that for when Roman wakes up.
Well, historically, you're a part of you're from the U.S. and the U.S. has a very kind of in-depth, and we've established that you've moved east to west through your career, and the further west you go, the more riverboats exist. So you'd be somewhat familiar with them, and that, and also like New York ferries are fairly close in like the gist of what these are. So.
I do have a third option that involves Molotovs. You'd be very happy to know.
Nice.
But yeah, that's what you know. You got any other information about the area? Harry got a very good look. Spent like an hour or 2 there, like looking at everything. So he'd know basically everything.
So what Lena's also going to do is find a couple of like fruit crates and pop those sort of around as well as sort of specific target practice, like trying to hit a smaller target.
Okay. That's not hard.
And then she's going to make a mini boat that'll hold one big cat and one big dog.
Woof.
Okay. I think I get what you're going. I'm just gonna ask, just so I know. Are you making a glass house for practice here? Okay, never mind. You're making basically it's a false. It has the footage of what you're trying to do, but it has no walls, and it's just for practice, just to like.
It's just for aim, basically, because I want them to have an understanding of how close they've got to be in order to be able to throw whatever they're throwing onto the boat. But it's also going to be an unstable platform that they're practicing from, because even though the Mississippi is slow and...
Sipper-missy
is slow and muddy and things, it is still reasonably unstable if you're trying to stand up in a boat and do things.
While throwing stuff.
Yeah.
While throwing
also,
stuff.
I'm fairly
and they're
certain
two big guys.
Yeah, I'm also fairly certain the boat was the not great thing. The
boat was good. The boat was normal. There was a bad car, and then there was a good car.
Bad car. That's what it was. There was a bad car. Got it.
Bad car.
So, okay. So you're trying to make like a false boat that is unstable.
It's basically I'm going to put a platform on some logs.
Oh, okay.
Give it a little bit of instability.
Okay.
We also need to stop calling them Molotovs because he hasn't happened yet.
Okay, alcohol with fire.
Fire
Well, they'd
bombs.
be petrol bombs.
Petrol
bombs. Yeah.
Petrol bomb, yeah.
Liquor bomb.
Because they existed, they just weren't named that yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. What kind of role is that going to be? I was trying to.
Maybe a craft, wouldn't it?
Yeah, actually, that would be the definition of a craft role. Yeah, it'd have to be. I'm gonna say it'd be Mindcraft. Mindcraft, not Minecraft.
Is anybody helping me?
I'm watching from my window.
I'm sleeping.
Just a quick question, Roach, by the way, for mechanical reasons. What ammo dice would my rifle have? Because the high power rifle in game only has one shot. It's a bolt action. It's one of those. Oh. Like you have to refill it every time you shoot it.
Be a D6.
B6. Okay. So for me, that'd be a D8 because of ammo conservation. Good stuff. Perfect. Thank you.
So, I think it would be. It'd be either Harry or Larence that would be able to help you because they've.
I'll help you. I don't mind.
I have nothing towards craft.
Larence also has nothing towards craft, but he doesn't cause any problems if he fails because he has team player.
No, because if you want to roll just to make sure that you
which is the which
mind.
dice is it? Mind? Okay, mind.
It'd be Mindcraft, and if you succeed,
it's a tie. So
okay, so it's just gonna be
you would have gotten a D12 off of me, but unfortunately no.
It's gonna be Lena's stats.
Trying to figure out whether I can use sabotage. I don't think I can.
No. Full stop. No.
No.
Look, a girl's got to try.
That's fair.
I get it.
Hey, listen to you. We're not going to blame you for trying.
No.
Oh.
I'm using luck.
Okay.
Okay.
We're about to have.
Okay. You're not critically failing anymore. Good.
1. Okay. You'll be surprised in that this wasn't an easy test to make a simulator. To essentially.
Oh, I'm fully aware. She
Yeah,
had a vague idea what she wanted to do.
Yeah. Well, hey, at least you didn't hit your hand with a hammer or something like that.
That would suck.
Yeah.
Thank you, team player, for not causing a problem there.
You tried. Yeah, you tried working through it. It didn't pan out the way you wanted, but you have kind of. It's not unstable. You just have kind of a false footprint of kind of the boat you think you have, or at least like a general like rowboat shape. Just that can be kind of moved. Like it's just a little like a frame. Just
Yeah.
So that it could still be used to like. You're not gonna get the imbalance, but you could get like this boat is this far away from this boat, so stand in here and see if you can hit the target, kind of thing. I mean, it would still have, it would be valid because of all the other things you did beforehand. It would still be somewhat valid as a training or like practice measure, but it's not as good as it could have been. So
It's all right. We can figure out. I can push you around a little.
yeah, I was gonna say, just keep hitting them.
Look, she has 4 dice in athletics, so
That's fair. Larence has Larence has 1 dice in athletics and 2 dice in endurance, so he's more of a long haul kind of guy.
So, yeah, you spend probably most of the morning doing that, because that would take, there's got to be some downside to it. So yeah,
That's fair.
Most of the morning doing that, and by that point, what has everybody else been doing? Because Harry didn't help, so you're free up for that, and the Alderman didn't help, so you're free up for that, and the other one's sleeping, or he could have woken up at some point.
I have been drafting my expose for the newspaper, and basically prepping all the not the paperwork, but like the slanderous, and both the slanderous report and the making me look good report that we're going to be sending to the newspaper once we've got the true evidence. I'm just like, working on the language and stuff, so they really have nothing that they have to do but publish it, like kind of thing.
Right, but with the specifics not totally nailed down. So
It's like choosing the tone, like, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It's just using my
gonna be making
speech
masks.
Gonna be making masks. Cool. So Harry, that would also be a Mindcraft check to make that's a craft check because you're making something.
I guess I don't have any dice in craft.
But you have mind dice. You're not a vegetable, so. Okay.
I'm not making masks.
Well, you try, but you're not the most deft hand with a needle, and so it didn't kind of like.
Larence just produces 6 balaclavas just
there's eye holes on
just
the wrong side of both of the. There were 2 separate sides. This is not done right. It's harder too because you have to account for different muzzle sizes and facial structures. So yeah, you spend some time on that. And the Alderman, you're gonna have to roll for this because you're writing this up. So we'll see how good it is. Okay. So that's gonna have to be a check here. That's you're not lying, so it wouldn't be deceit.
Mine academics.
No, it wouldn't necessarily be academic in a sense.
Because it's about how well it's written, right?
It's trying to sway public opinion, essentially.
Negotiation.
Yeah.
I'll say this. You could use your diplomacy gift with this.
Yep.
And
I think my leadership gift might also roll in. Because you must you may claim a D12 to any presence roll, but when you're giving a public speech to exhort a crowd to action or to strike against the factory owners or to stand up to bullying of a biker gang to win a football game, it's that kind of thing. Like, it's about other roles as well if you're superior this public. Yeah. It might also help other roles as well if your superior public speaking voice somehow would help.
I don't think that. I think that's why it doesn't, because it's a written word. I'm already giving you diplomacy on this, and technically it doesn't match 100%. Diplomacy, and we're gonna make this.
I would disagree with that.
it'll be either or. It's the same dice on this. But diplomacy, and we're gonna say probably.
Mind is nearly a definite because he's searching
Well,
for
no,
vocabulary and all that stuff.
That's what I'm trying to work out. I'm trying to work out if it makes sense because mind could work, but will also has an argument for it.
Yeah, because
In the
will
sense
is
that you're
again,
trying to-
it's your force of will. It's not.
It's
It's
force
not.
of will.
Well, you
Will
wanna
isn't.
try and get off.
But I
Will-
would say this: you're trying to present evidence,
Well,
Which
I'm
I'm
also
gonna
trying
say-
to rile everybody up, so it's like a
which is
thing
why I'm
of.
giving you diplomacy.
Yeah.
Is
Okay.
trying to do that. So I'm gonna say it's a mind presence, diplomacy.
Mind, presence, diplomacy. Okay.
Yeah.
Mind,
I'll be matched.
Good.
presence.
It's good. Just
Where's someone coming from?
You could also use your personality here because it's ambitious. I'd say that would
Can
apply,
do.
would it?
yeah, if you want to.
Can do. I'm going to.
You're still on one.
There we
two.
go. 2 with a high of 9.
It's not the best work you've ever done. But
It's hard without the
not-
information yet.
It's not. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard without the information specifics so you're kind of just trying to give general platitudes and persuasive language and stuff like that. So not the best, not the worst though. You've read worse articles, so it's nothing that would be automatically not published or something like that.
Yep.
So
Fair enough.
you got
I
that.
remember 2 successes is like professional, basically. It's good enough.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's adequate.
Yeah.
It's adequate. Yeah.
You could get paid for it, basically.
Yeah. So you spend that. Does when do you think Roman is going to come out of his hibernation? Is the plan just to spend most of the night, most of the day, just resting up? I just want to make sure we're not skipping over you.
I guess he wouldn't want to leave everything to everyone else. You know, being the control freak he is. So I think he'd probably kind of force himself to get up like 1, 2 o'clock.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna probably say if you were gonna not spend. Basically, I'm giving all of you it's 4 like shifts during the days beforehand that you have to do things every day. So it's like, morning, mid-morning, late morning, afternoon, late afternoon, night kind of thing. So you've got that. So yeah, you wake up eventually later in the afternoon to the smell of lunch.
Coffee.
Yeah, and coffee.
Lawrence is actually standing
What's
outside
the
your door with
cook's
coffee.
name?
Fuck you.
Fuck you. That's his name. Fuck you. Hugh is his name. That's it. Hugh.
Second. Franklin.
Oh, it's Franklin. Franklin the Swallow.
No, it's Sparrow, not a swallow.
Era.
Sorry.
Yeah.
If only it was Jack.
Oh, all of the Jacks.
Well, it'd be a third Jack and then also Jack Sparrow.
Oh.
Boo.
The next
Well.
army captain.
Every time he walks in. Oh, how's the rum gone?
Yeah,
Prohibition.
puts rum in.
Yeah.
Fast one, Red. Fast one.
Nice one. Nice one.
Brilliant.
Absolutely.
Have you showed the cup?
It's a Moogle. It's adorable.
Oh.
It's an actual Moogle mug that Rive got me.
That's pretty
It's
cool.
Moogle's mug. Yeah, it's Moogle's mug. So yeah, coffee, lunch.
Coffee, food.
Yep.
All right, what I missed.
Lawrence doesn't even look up. He just holds out a cup of coffee behind him. It's black as the soul that it is going to be drinking it.
All right, what I miss.
I'm surprised we didn't wake you, honestly. But we've built a little training Had fun in the garden for you and Larence.
Bit of practice through throwing some fire bombs.
From mortar, smart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had some thoughts about that. Where's the boss?
He's up in his office still. They brought food up to him. I think he's writing something.
Alright, I'll check in then. Harry,
What's that?
what have you been doing, bud?
Well, I tried doing some masks for this, but and then I hold up the results.
Ooh.
That's a good idea. Keep at it.
Larence yet again pulls out balaclavas. It's just a cultural thing. Just
That was just a. That's great, hon. Daddy's working.
yeah. Good idea, kid. Keep at it.
Ow.
Would Harry get that unrounded thing? I don't know if he would.
Cat.
Meow.
No, there's a cat behind Utari.
Oh,
Yeah. Hello, cat.
Hey, kitty.
Hello.
Just came wandering around the door, then stopped with just its tail on the camera.
Yeah, it's a Frey. Freya.
Freya? It's amazing.
Yeah, like the goddess.
Great name.
Yes,
I
well,
Great name.
That's what I mean.
Great name.
this one's Loki, the one that just ran in. Not sure if anyone saw it, but
Loki and Freya. Yeah, that's a good naming
That's
convention. I like
good.
that. Yeah. Right.
Wait, isn't Freya the one that has like a
That one
chariot
just
that's
literally
being
came off the
pulled by
ceiling.
cats?
It's a spider cat.
Yeah. It's
no, she hides at the top of that.
Oh,
You see
right.
that? She sits up there. And that's her little hidey spot up there. She likes being in high places. And then
natural predator thing.
She likes getting
Mr.
high.
Loki here.
Too. It's the cat.
Oh, I'm right. Oh, Freya is the Norse goddess that has a chariot being pulled by cats. So
Yep.
that makes it even better.
And this was Loki.
Hey, Loki.
Oh.
You're adorable.
So
It's a lovely cat.
yeah.
Right. Loki's almost as black as Robin is. A little bit of white there in his cheek.
He's got white socks and,
Oh, he's got the white socks.
underneath.
Oh, I love that. So cute. I love
Whereas
it.
Freya's just black, apart from like this heart diamond type thing just there.
Oh.
So while this does help our numbers quite a bit on Twitch by
Obviously.
having cats in screen, let's
Yeah.
move on.
Why do you think I want a kitten? I want cat cam.
Cat
Like a man
cam.
cat cam.
Cat cam.
I don't know where Duke is. He's being a goober today.
I want a cat.
I know, babe. I'm on it. I'm on it.
She keeps saying that.
I'll come over and beat up your landlord so we get a cat.
Oh no,
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 the
the landlord
landlord
said
is.
yes.
No, landlord.
So-
Fair enough.
Sorry, Broach. Yes, yes.
So
So I have checked in with the troops. I'm now going up to the boss.
okay.
You find Jack like at his desk, loads of scrumpled up bits of paper all over it. He's got tiny spectacles on the end of his whiskers.
Snout.
Trying to work.
Muzzle.
No, muzzle. What was it? What is it for a cat?
Snout.
It'd be snout.
Okay.
Yeah.
Snout just sounds
Muzzle
very
also
pig
works.
for me in my head. But yeah, little spectacles. It looks up. Ah, Roman. What's up?
No one's seen you for like 6 hours, boss.
Yeah, I'm trying to prep the written side of things for everything that's going to go down. I think I got something that will work once we get the information, but depending on what evidence we get, I'm going to have to, adapt it.
I just realized the climax of this whole story. Everybody else is going to be like doing something really amazing, and then Jack's just going to be back into his
phone.
his room, and like
phone,
typing
just
something
like-
up and talking.
Well, getting
so
crabbed.
cute.
No!
If you think about like Revenge of the Sith, you got the big climactic battle between Obi-Wan and Darth, but the actual real damage is being done by the Emperor just speaking to an
No.
audience.
It's what it is. It was. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
yeah.
That's true.
Or my
He's
whole
actually
thing, it was.
destroying the Republic just by going, we're gonna do this because
Why
this
are we
keeps people
talking about
safe.
Star Wars?
Because he's sitting in an office, literally doing nothing
Well-
spectacular, but he's actually doing the damage.
Well,
That's what Jack's
my
talking about.
thing was
So
gonna
what
be.
you're saying is Mace Windu's gonna come into the room and Jack's just gonna do a 360
Yeah.
from a prone position. Yeah.
Well, I didn't want to point it out.
Well,
Who is
no,
Mace Windu in this
I think it's
situation?
more George Clooney in the Ocean's film where they go to that they're like so busy watching him because they think he's gonna be involved, but he just doesn't get involved with the heist while the heist goes on.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Anyway.
No, you're working on that.
Yep.
Are you going anywhere today?
Not at all. I'm ready for you guys. I don't need to go out. I've got nothing in the calendar. If I go out, there's probably more of a chance I get shot at. So I'm gonna stay right here in my office, away from the windows, by the phone.
Who are you? What have you done with the Alderman?
He says while sipping coffee.
Look, that armadillo was. Yeah.
All right. If you do decide you want to go anywhere, and you don't tell me, you won't need to get shot.
Yeah, it's fine. You'll do the shooting for me. Hey,
All right,
Roman. I know you
go.
don't need it, but good luck tonight.
It's not tonight.
It's quite literally. It's a couple of days from now.
Boss,
Oh, is it not? I thought it was
you
tonight.
don't
Oh,
need
sorry.
luck. I have ammo.
You have. I think you got 2
I have
days.
ammo.
It was the,
Oh, okay,
it
cool.
was
You
the
get a
ni-
box of 38 special.
It was the
like, look at this.
19th, and you're on the 17th, so you've got
Oh, right. Okay.
technically a day in
20th.
mode.
I don't think
20th, so
I
you
don't.
have 2 days.
I
Yeah.
don't think my character needs to set anything up unless he's, called out, so. I've already been to the newspaper, so.
Yeah, no, there's nothing. I mean, there are things you could prep if you wanted to. You could keep working on the project, and that has a higher chance. The more successes you have, the better it will.
I
the-
think
the
that's
better
where
it'll
I'm
do.
best.
Basically, what I'm doing for the next couple of days for all of you is there's going to be multiple long-running projects that more successes equal better outcomes or better conditions for the main event. More failures result in worsening conditions for the main event. So it's going to be kind of one of those. Remember how we did that event or that long-running test in the beginning of the campaign? Bringing that mechanic back. So
It has
that-
been like 6 months at this point, but here we
Yeah.
are.
So that's going to be kind of what the next couple of days are around, and you can creatively think of how you're going to affect the event for it. This one just doesn't have a end threshold. It's just going to continue to, depending on what you do, create better conditions. So
Lena also has a training plan for Team Stealth,
yeah.
and it involves everybody.
Okay.
For reference, you have 3 long-running events. You've got the Alderman's, the newspaper, like the newspaper getting the press, the press aspect of this. You've got the evidence gathering aspect of this, and you have the sabotage aspect of this. Are the 3 things, and I'm keeping track of all 3 of those separately. So right now, I believe there's 2 successes for the sabotage, nothing for stealth, and 2 successes for the press right now. So we got.
So the sabotage,
Just
just to clarify for my head, is the still.
It's blowing up the ship.
Yeah.
Got it.
Or burning it
Got
down, or whatever you're going to be doing.
Both.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So we spent the morning
else?
doing the setting up everything, I assume.
It's the 3rd shift of the day. It's the mid-afternoon kind of like, it's after lunch kind of time period.
Okay. I have something else that I would do then. If it's gonna continue to affect like the end result, I'm gonna see if I can make a phone call to whoever I know to be the political enemy of the mayor.
It's the other Jack down in
It's the other
that
check.
side.
The one that I've thrown under the bus a
different
couple of
check.
times.
Yeah. The one. Okay. That was not a good luck roll for you. Here. The mayor is very popular.
Damn it.
Popular enough that, funny enough, in a city that's based off a city that is known for corruption, he doesn't actually have political enemies, at least not outwardly.
Okay.
Because people
So
love
like
him
me,
so
I'm
much.
I'm friendly outwardly, but I'm vying for his job right now.
Yeah, so you wouldn't necessarily know anybody. And also,
Fine.
you're fairly new to this, so you don't have a deep ties.
Sure.
You could try and get hold of the cop again.
You haven't heard from him.
He's set to call us is the thing, but maybe I'll try him tomorrow, the next day.
Lena, you said earlier you had a plan for the stealth team. What's the
So it really depends on whether people want to try it, because Team Stealth is basically a game of hide and seek within the house. Hence why I asked for a room plan. And Harry and Lena are going to sort of try and sneak their way around the house, while the other three, who are going to be analogues for the people she kind of expects at the meeting, to try and detect them, and then they can sort of practice making sure that they can sneak around whilst carrying all the stuff that they've got to carry around.
You might also want to put something in where they have to get to a certain place to get a certain item, simulating getting the tape recorder into the right place and then get back out.
Exactly.
Right.
That's exactly what she's thinking. So, because this is the kind of planning she's done before.
right? You don't need to
Cue
have
the
a
training
room
montage.
plan. Yeah, you don't need to have a room plan for this because we can make it. We don't have to have it that specific because it can just be a general long form check that results in this. So,
Do we get
also-
XP for this?
Good question.
I'm gonna give you an item that just says 1 XP and just put it in the thing. Has no mechanical value, but you just get 1 XP and it's thrown at you. But yeah, we'll just make that a long form check, and because I rather enjoy having the house just be a nebulous void that can be whatever it needs to be.
does help.
So I don't
It
have
does
to.
help.
So I don't have to think.
Harry
of
needed a
anything.
closet. There was a closet.
There was a closet
Yeah.
there. Yeah. It makes it a
Okay,
bit
so
So it's
easier.
basically like the cook. It's just a blob that just happens to shape whatever you need it.
You
Yeah.
open a door and it's just, oh look, it's a closet. Or, oh look, it's a bedroom.
Oh, look, it's a
It's a closet.
Oh look, it's a rack.
Close the door. Reopen the door. It's dining room.
It's like the
Close the door.
Matrix.
Reopen the door.
It's like the Matrix
Yeah, we-
Reloaded. You open the door and
No, it's
suddenly
that
like
Scooby Doo.
there's
It's that Scooby Doo
mountains.
scene. They go in one side and come out the same side. Like,
At the other side.
Yeah.
So if that's going to be the case, we can say we can do this. We'll dedicate. Everybody has to dedicate 1 shift during a day to this role, but you'll get an extra D8 on top of any help action that they might be able to provide if they can justify giving a help action, and you'll roll, and we'll collect the successes up for just the stealth team. So basically, stealth team, whoever wants to take lead on the check, will make the stealth roll. So probably Harry. We'll make that. But since Lena is proficient in the fact that I believe you have some sort of, don't you have some stealth?
I don't have stealth, but I've got very
You have
high
evasion.
speed of an evasion.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
have evasion. That's what I mean. You have.
I have stealth.
yeah,
Yeah. So I'll say, since Harry has stealth and you have like, I think, was it 3 dice in evasion or some ridiculous thing like that?
Something ridiculous, yeah.
Yeah, you have 2 d8s in evasion.
Lena is
Also-
very specifically good at the
D6.
things she is very specifically good at.
So because of that, Harry will get an extra d8 on top of what he'll normally roll for the stealth, and then everyone else, which has to dedicate 1 shift a day to this training.
Okay.
Is there
So do we
anything?
want to dedicate this last shift of the day to that now then?
We're just gonna make it. We're just gonna make it a thing that happens, and then you can decide what you want to do for the rest for your last
Because
shift of the
in
day.
theory, there's 2 shifts left, so we can do 1 shift hide and seek, 1 shift throw the thing.
Yeah.
In theory, this is happening throughout kind of the day. It's just taking up a shift nebulously. If we're just kind of
Yeah, it's like it's like,
Everything's
okay,
nebulous.
Larence is like, okay, I don't have anything to do right now.
It makes running the game a lot easier. You know, it's also really good because the next game we're playing is very not nebulous. So
I've just read one of my things. Do you know what? When I was doing the lockpicking, I have sabotage.
Yeah, you do.
I did not realize I had that when we did the lockpicking thing. I get a bonus D12 to lockpicking.
Oh
well,
didn't remember.
I know this now.
It's been a week, and you already have a new set of lockpicks.
I know.
But hey,
well, next time.
Next time.
This is just an epiphany in Harry's room, just going, wait a second.
I'm better at this than I normally am.
I'm good at this.
So, is there anything the other three can weigh for a bonus die for the stealth check, for the stealth training check?
Well, I've got high presence, so if I'm role playing the mayor, like I could, I'm guessing I can just like properly just like, you know, be a distraction, which might knock them off their game.
I'd assume that I would be an analog for the moose, but for Mr.
No, that would be Roman.
No, Roman's the moose.
No, Roman's Muldoon.
That's the moose.
He's a deer.
Turner.
I have tracking.
Yeah.
I'm Turner, he's Muldoon.
Oh, right, yeah, turn him out in. Meh. Okay.
I have tracking, sneak attack, and danger sense.
What's your observation? How many dice do you have in observation, Roman?
Observation. I have 3 dice in observation.
Yeah.
Roll a mind observation check for me. Just roll it. Okay. So what I'm going to say is, since that was an above average roll,
okay,
or that was an above average roll, you can get an extra d6 on this because it'll be training. You're not necessarily, there's no fail state for this training. It's just, so what this basically amounts to is Roman is very on the ball, or is fairly on the ball with this, which means the training you'll get out of trying to be stealthy against him has a higher chance of being better.
That's why I wanted everybody. That's why Lena wanted everybody a part of it, because she knew how good Roman was at, and Larence was at sort of tracking and finding people.
Yeah,
and she
wanted to also have tracking at the thing. But
I was just using whoever had the highest observation dice.
That's
I'm just going to see how many checks they have, how many successes they have in a check, and that'll amount to how good of a training session this will be.
I couldn't have rolled MO and given Roman an extra D12 for team player, could I?
This doesn't really work like that. This is kind of a bit more. We're basically twisting the game rules around
a little bit,
just until they almost break, and then we're holding it there.
We're just like, all right, this is where it's gonna stay.
Stealth team. So Harry, you can go ahead and roll your stealth check, but you can add a D8 and a D6 on top of whatever you would normally roll for that stealth. So,
do I need to roll speed evasion to give him the D8?
No.
So stealth would just be straight stealth.
No, you speed evasion and the D12, so you roll your speed evasion as well, because the stealth thing you have to roll the check to make the thing work. Okay, so 2. So all right, it's not the best it could have been, but it's not the worst.
No, I rolled pretty poor.
That was pretty bad.
It was pretty poor.
I rolled a 3 on the D12.
Yeah, wow.
Rolled a 1 on a D8.
Yeah, but you still got some successes on there. So essentially, there's 2.
I think everyone is now at 2. I think we all have 2 in everything now. We have 2 in media, 2 in stealth, and 2 in sabotage.
Yes, you do. So that's going to
Larence is going to spend his last shift practicing the sabotage.
Okay. Is Roman also taking part in that? Because that could add more dice to it. Okay. So you do that. The stealth team, what do you, or I guess Lena and Harry, what do you want to do with your last shift?
Distracting them.
Distracting them. Helping them do the same thing basically that you did for, or that they did for you for them. Okay, that could work. And Jack, did you have anything you want to do? Just continue working, or are you trying to network, or
I'm gonna
help facilitate training better?
No, I'm going to go into I'm gonna go like researching my own personal library on local legislative law to see if there's anything we can do to like impeach the mayor if he is
A loophole.
Yeah, well no, not a loophole, but to say like, okay, he has been publicly shown to be working with gangs. Is there something we can do to politically remove him?
Right. I actually somewhat know some of this stuff, and I believe at this point in time you actually couldn't, so the mayor could be on trial and still be the mayor.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the case as well. But I'm gonna go look into the legal loophole.
There's
as
a
well.
reason that law got put in place, so that didn't happen anymore.
And I think it happened in Chicago. I think it was the mayor of Chicago.
Yeah.
Why is it always Chicago?
Because that's why this stuff got codified.
They ended up, yeah, he went down for embezzlement hard. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah. Let's say Chicago. There's a reason it got so rich, and it wasn't because it did it legally.
Does it really matter in the end if you're rich? Yes.
It did for him because he had a fairly good time in prison.
It matters if you get caught.
Yeah. If that's the case, then I'm just gonna say, because trying to impede them doing their training stuff doesn't necessarily have any like mechanical things to check for. I'm just gonna give you a flat D8 on top to check with, because basically it's just amounting to them doing something to throw you off a little bit, to try and make it seem like waves or the water.
Like the dog in Duck Hunter. The duck shooter game.
Wow, that's a
throwback.
That's a throwback. That's almost before my time.
I only remember that because that's now a Smash Bros character.
Oh yeah.
Wait, really?
Duck
Yeah,
Hunt.
They're just,
Duck Hunt
throwing
dog.
everything in there, aren't
Yeah.
Yeah.
they?
Duck Hunt dog is a Smash Bros character, and it's one of the ducks with a gun and the dog.
Make a fucking check. That's so stupid. That's so stupid. It has to be true.
It can't not be real.
It can't not be real. Who wants to take lead on the check? Because
what dice are we using?
Well, it's going to be depending on what you want to use, because there's a couple of ways you can do it. If you're trying to do if you're trying to practice the carpet bomb method, then it's going to be a speed based kind of thing, because you're trying to get as many out as you can before you have to arbitrary time get away. If you're trying to do a pinpoint,
Tactical,
get it to somewhere specific, you're more looking at a mind check. It'd be probably a mind. I'm trying to think, what would it throw?
Would you argue shooting?
Actually, yeah, shooting would be what this is based on. Yeah.
Okay,
it'd be a shooting, or I would also allow tactics if you're trying to say, because I don't think any of you would be physically incapable of throwing a Molotov. I don't think that's impossible.
Firebomb.
So, firebomb. So it'd be yes.
Roman does have a third option.
Okay.
So we could try and get one of the bottles into the ship, or we could coat the ship, or we could just identify where the exits are to the below deck.
Yeah, because all the fumes would be exiting through the holes, right?
Yep. And also, you can't get up to the fire to put it out if it's burning you alive.
Oof. Painful, but true.
I think Rival's the main reason we're 18 plus on this, or 17 plus on this.
I have
This
my
one's only a
moments.
15 on this series.
Oh.
Okay,
Right,
allow me to
change it.
explain what
So
happens
then you
when
can have
actually,
16s and a 15 in the
burn
UK.
alive.
It's fine.
Okay, so first,
Huh.
So, okay.
As long as
Let's
there's no
move on.
pee in it's kosher.
So,
That sounds like some sort of allegory for porn.
moving on.
But we'll move on.
also, Would Roman be able to use sneak attack for the first bottle?
If you're doing the pinpoint method, yes. If you're doing the
Just
you're
carpet.
there's no sneak attack bonus to that. You're just trying to hit.
You're just picking up bottles and yeeting them as fast.
So
as you
here's
can.
what I'll say. Depending on what you want to do, it would be a speed shooting, a mind shooting, or if you're trying to pinpoint specific locations, I'll also allow mind tactics because you're just trying to.
I'm gonna say all of those dice options are the same for me. I would have 3 dice total. I would have 3 for mind.
I'd have nothing on tactics.
I have 3 in tactics because I have 2 dice in tactics and mind or speed.
I've got a D8 for mind and a D6 for speed.
Okay, my D8 is in body.
But my sneak attack for that first bottle is 2 D8s.
Okay, so would you say that would apply to the
Hitting.
tactics roll?
Yeah.
Roach, like the tactical strike, I suppose would be the way to put it.
Yeah, that one would be the one you'd want if you're trying to do a sneak attack. Is like you're trying to catch everybody by surprise, hitting the exits, and doing that would be definitely sneak attack. Pinpoint, I wouldn't say sneak attack because that doesn't give you the way you're describing the hitting the exits. You want to surprise people mostly. If you're trying to hit a pinpoint target, sneak attack doesn't necessarily do anything there. Like, you know what I mean? Narratively, it doesn't really work that well. So sneak attack would be option 3 would be the sneak attack roll 1.
Would
So depending on how you want to weigh everything.
Apply to this.
Let me read.
Well, veteran just gives me a D12 when I'm aiming or guarding. That's it. But I was just wondering if I could apply that to this because it's technically shooting. So if I took an aim action while shooting, I would get
just so you don't have a ridiculous bonus to everything, I'll say this: carpet bombing, you're using speed, shooting. Trying to hit specific targets on the ship, but not necessarily go for targets that would impede the personnel on the ship. You're looking for the veteran. That you'll be able to weigh veteran. It'd be a mind shooting check. If you're trying to do option 3, where you're trying to surprise the personnel, hit specific targets, that would be a mind tactics, which you can also use sneak attack on top of that.
Okay.
That way we have a diverse. That way we know the three different
we can
options.
practice all 3 options now, is the thing. We can be like, we'll use this today, this tomorrow, and this day after.
Yeah, I'd say you'd have to devote a whole training session to one method to provide that.
Okay. So what do you?
What do you want to do?
I think if we go with the tactical route, I think Rivals still has the better options. I think he has 3d8s because of sneak attack and his mind.
Yep. I don't have any tactics.
Yeah, I have 3 dice, but I have 2 d6s in that situation. But also
you can
have
give him
the
a
same.
D12.
Yeah.
But you can give him a D12 from teamwork no matter what. So I think Roman takes lead, you assist.
Yeah.
So you do the thing. So you do option 3. Roman gets 3 d8s and a d12.
Yes, because of team player.
There's team.
And another D8 because we're doing the.
Because you're doing that. So it's
3 d8s and a d12.
3 d8s and a d12.
4 d8s and a d12.
48.
Oh,
12. Because Roman gets 3, so yeah, 48s and a d12.
Yep. So
roll them bones, Rival.
I'm really sorry, Roach.
I'm not.
No. This is good. This is good.
This is great
Not
thinking.
sorry.
I like this. This is great thinking. I appreciate this.
We've spent this whole campaign doing non-mechanical stuff for this story. It's kind of nice to get back to a little bit of mechanical stuff.
There's 3.
All right, the d12.
Four.
Hey.
Beautiful, babe.
Nice roll, Rival.
So I mean, not
Four
like super
successes.
high rolls on any of them, but good rolls generally. So what that equates to is you spend the last shift of the day. Essentially, you just have a whole bunch of glass bottles. Glass bottles are analog, like maybe not glass bottles. You just have baseballs or something equating to the weight you're trying to hit.
We've got golf balls. We've got
Andrews will have golf balls and baseballs.
I do, yeah.
Yeah. So
No, the baseballs are signed. Then
don't touch those.
Bruce Babe is the best talking hitter the New York Yankees ever had. Sorry, the Metropol Yankees ever had.
Yeah. They're just chunks of wood they're throwing because it has to be somewhat equating to the weight. So I'll just say
and
chunks of wood
and all that.
Yeah. So you're just throwing those. It's a little rocky at the
balance while passing Roman more chunks of wood.
Yeah, it's a little rocky at the start, but Roman on you don't have like 100% like 1-to-1 on this, but you can hit your targets more often than not when you're throwing, and it only takes you like maybe 4 or 5 every run to kind of hit the 2 major places you're looking to hit on the side of the ship that you're approaching from, because there's 3 on the whole boat. So you'd have to go around like a wide to get the other side, unless you were trying to like
open over the
mortar
top,
it over. Which,
well, the thing is, if you can block 2 entrances, they have to go. Everyone and base has to get out of 1 door, and the place is on fire. Oh, and you've got freaking fumes everywhere.
Everyone's like contact high.
It's a successful run through. It would be a workable plan if you were to do it.
Cool.
But yeah, you go through that for the last part of the day before actually I would say wall sun's going out, because you are trying to do this at night. At least that was the plan, if I remember right.
That's fair.
So that kind of works, and you're able to hit most of your targets and get kind of a feel. It's not 100% like simulator, because it doesn't like the instability isn't. They're kind of just shaking you sometimes or giving you random budges and everything, so it doesn't equate 1-to-1, but it gives you a little feel to it. So it's overall success on that, and I think that was everybody. So that's everybody's for the last shift.
Did Harry do something for the last shift?
He was helping.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And then Jack did his. Jack is doing the mayor, trying to find loopholes or trying to find legal precedents. So that's going to be a mind academics check.
Okay. Zip and zip.
It's hard to know because you don't have a specific. You don't know what his crimes are yet. You think you know what his crimes
It's
are.
gotta be, yeah.
But you don't have a specific, so it's hard to kind of scope in on a law on that. It's kind of just general stuff. So that's what you spend for that day. Yeah, I'm just. Sure, got it written down.
Larence is fine with taking the early evening watch if Roman wants to get a little extra sleep.
Yep.
Got it.
I'm assuming you all do your normal,
I sleep through the night.
Yeah. Pretty normal. Not a big deal. And you awake the next day fresh and ready to go. Just another day. So it's the 18th. You have today and the 19th to do stuff, and then the 20th is when this goes down at night. And so basically, so we can be a little bit less detailed now since we've already gone through a lot of the bigger things here. So for number 1, are you doing any of the team stuff, or are you all doing your own things?
Larence is gonna do the team thing in the morning. Team stealth he's gonna do.
Stealth, okay.
Solo.
Solo?
I have I'm going to try and pull up some of the.
You're the only one dealing with the press stuff, so
exactly, yeah. I'm going to try and call.
You see your roles. You have all the help.
Yeah, I'm also going to try and veil. So I'm going to try and get myself a press conference for the morning after we submit the evidence. I'm not going to divulge that that's what it's going to be about. It's going to be a general press conference about it's going to be veiled at just going over what happened.
That just happened.
Yeah, going over what happened at the airport. Maybe.
That really hasn't been.
Oh wait, no. Okay, yeah. It's a press conference about the. You mean the gambling house?
Well, no. I was saying is you could, because Jack is a seasoned, well, not necessarily seasoned, but he's an ambitious politician. Knows how to talk to the press. There are a lot of things you could do to try and get the press at a press conference without like a specific thing to talk about. And you're responsible for an area of the city that has just gotten the municipal airport, which is expected to bring in a lot of money to everything. And the press, they love two things. They love slinging mud, and they love fluff pieces to make people feel good to buy papers. And one of those would be maybe a revitalization project, putting some of that money into a goal, put money into the neighborhoods, because there's a good neighborhood which you currently live in that's in your district, but there's also there's the universities, there's the schools, there's a couple of not so good districts. So
free school meals for kids. Yeah,
something like that. Yeah.
Cool.
You could be talking about the tax, where the tax money is going to be.
Yeah. It's about where I see the future of this city.
Yeah, that gets some people interested, or it has a chance of getting some people interested.
Okay.
You'd have to roll for that.
Hell yeah.
Just to see how good that would be.
No, absolutely.
Yeah. This one would probably be the same kind of role, I would say, as we did before. It would be a mind, probably be a mind presence.
Deceit?
Will presence. It'd be a will presence.
Will presence, not will deceit.
Actually, yes, it would be will deceit, because you are.
Because I'm not. That's not what I'm going to be talking about, really, is it?
So convincing a lie, you're doing that. I don't think you can weigh diplomacy, because I don't think you can use it on deceit checks.
I think I can.
Can you?
I don't. Let me double check.
If you can, then you can. But I don't know if you.
No negation or presence. What about fast talk though? Yes, fast talk can be weighed on deceit. So, and if it's a phone call, just
Sure.
Okay. Cool.
Sure.
Face has got a face.
It's a luck check. Yeah.
Nobody can help me right now, Roach. I need dice.
Yeah.
Okay, so will. Okay. Deceit. Fast talk. And then my daily use of ambitious. Okay. That is 5 successes.
That's fantastic.
5 successes. The most successful roll in this campaign so far.
Yeah, it's the first time I haven't rolled below a 4. That's ever.
Yeah. So you call around to basically you dig deep.
Roll a dex.
You call around. Yeah, you call around to basically all of the papers. Not even all the major papers, like all the papers in town. There's a couple, even some of even some of like the union rags that are around like the factory district and stuff like that, because it actually helps your deceit, because you're talking about putting taxes back into the town and revitalizing things. That definitely plays well with the union. So that gets you think you're gonna have a good turnout the next day after this. It's gonna
morning after.
It's gonna be a lot of people. The one thing is, I'm just gonna ask you, where were you going to hold it? Because normally, if it's something like this, you just hold it at your house, like in your front yard. It's just a big gathering. Did you have like a
outside City Hall?
Outside City Hall. Okay. So that's gonna lock you in for shift 2. because you've got to work out that much to City Hall.
Yeah.
And so you got that. Everybody else, Roman, do you have anything you want to do on your own, or are you just helping Team Stealth with their thing?
I think it's just an all hands on deck type affair. Roman's not going to be happy unless he knows that everything's ready on all fronts.
Okay, roll your mind ops check, your observation again. Okay. You don't get a D. You don't get an extra D6 for stealth check.
I suck.
It is what
It's
it
okay,
is.
Dad. You don't suck. You're good.
So you'll be doing your speed evasion plus stealth and a D8 because Lena is helping. Harry.
Oh, sorry, I didn't realize you were talking to me there.
Yeah. No.
Right, speed, evasion,
Stealth and D8.
And then one more D8.
Come on, roll.
Roll. Dice, roll.
So it wasn't rolling.
Oh,
There we go.
That was fantastic as well.
Great stuff.
There we go. That's more like it.
That's what we like to see. That's
That
good
is
stuff.
Okay, so that was a fairly successful, even if Roman, it's early in the morning, Roman. Still having your coffee. You're able to actually kind of run through your circuit a couple of times before anybody notices that you've made it. So that's good. That means you're getting better at being light on your feet. I will say this: while this is a good idea, given the fact that there's no real way for you to have a one-to-one approximation of the factory floor, it's not as effective as it could be if you had a one-to-one approximation, or if you were doing it at the factory or something like that.
It's too risky to do it at the factory.
Yeah, no.
Far too risky.
No, I'm just letting you know that, like, for something like the boat not having a one-to-one and the stealth not having one-to-one will mean that while you have a lot of successes piled up, they're not going to count as far as they could in there. There'll be a natural attrition of a percent that'll just be kind of ate up by the imperfect.
That's fine.
Curve. It's like it's the opposite. It's like the sharp increase at the start and then slowly up from there.
Yeah. So that's what it is. There's nothing like that for Jack's stuff because
It's 1-to-1.
It's kind of one-to-one. He's doing a press conference kind of thing. He can practice that for the most part. So that happens for shift 1. By the way, this is also, if you guys want to do character stuff or anything like that, you have to make a decision if you're going to do character or roleplay stuff during shifts, because it will take up time. So that's the measure there. Yeah.
Larence is going to do the sabotage in the middle shift.
Middle shift. Okay. So you got the second shift, which is not the middle shift. Third.
Lena will help with the sabotage, but she needs to nip up to the Alderman's office for 5 minutes. But do we want to go to break now?
Yep.
Yeah, we are 4 minutes away. So yes, let's take our midpoint break here. So join us in a moment where we will be back. Use this time, grab yourself a drink, have a stretch, maybe even check out our merch store. We will see you in a moment. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the second half of tonight's Component Cast broadcast. We just finished off by completing the first few days of prep before we go after the mayor. We're now in the afternoon of day 2.
Oh, we're on shift.
No, it's still the
2 of
morning.
4.
Shift 2.
So it's the second morning kind of thing. It's basically the second shift intersects partly with the afternoon, and third shift also does.
Lunchtime.
Yeah, it's getting towards there. But we ended off with Lena going up to talk to the mayor. Not the mayor.
So-
Oh, yeah.
Not yet.
Not yet. Remember, kids, back the jack. Tell your parents.
So, Lena's going to sneak up to the mayor's, I'm at it now, Alderman's office.
Come in.
Are you busy?
I've just finished on the phone. What is it?
Plan D and Plan F.
Which
And
are?
she comes in and she's carrying this big box.
Right.
So,
Visible concern from the Alderman.
there's only you see. So, there are 2 things seem to be going well. The training seems to be going well, but I like contingencies. And this is more for if any of us get caught or captured. But there's another reason it's here as well. And she puts a box on the desk and sort of takes a chain from her neck, and it's got 2 little keys on. She sort of opens the box, turns it around and shows it to him, and I'm going to send Midge a picture.
Oh, secrets.
Wait, I don't see the picture.
You
That's
had
illegal.
it on a Discord note, yes, Sunday, Roach, so don't
okay,
give me that.
And you've already given it that way. Okay.
Oh god, I've only just opened Discord to see what the riverboat looks like, and it's the Disney riverboat. it's I know that ship. Oh no, his internet.
Oh no.
This happens.
Oh, no.
Roach has got some around the same time every. Oh, okay, it's back. I think he's back.
I just stopped talking whenever you say that, so it
Yeah.
fixes
I
itself.
think you're
No.
good.
Yeah, no, that riverboat's an hour from me.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Okay. Where are you sending me this? Red? You're muted, my love.
Trying to, give me a sec.
No worries.
Wait up, she'll send it to you.
Should be coming through, Midge.
Ooh. Wait, what? What?
So, if any of us get captured, I want you to use this as collateral. Get us back.
Well, what? For one thing, That would be perfect collateral for certain people. There's definitely people that would accept this. There are also people that you might be going up against that will want something else as collateral.
This is all I can give.
I know it's all you can give, but... Thank you. I would rather use my own money. But if it's necessary, I will. You don't have to do this, though.
Well, I need to leave it with you anyway, for if something happens to me, you know who it goes to.
Is there a note of who it goes to?
Can you not guess?
I wasn't gonna assume. You might have family.
There is a letter.
Okay. Thank you. Miss La Pan, I have a question. After we're through with this debacle, you planning on staying in the city? Or do you need to get somewhere else?
It's a conversation I need to have. I think I'm going to take a trip. I think my future is in America.
Well, I got family in Washington. Not Washington, whatever. Well, no, it could still be Washington, actually, in this universe, wouldn't it? Maybe?
Yeah, yeah.
Because Washington's named after a person.
Yeah, we've established that Washington lived.
Yeah.
If Paris exists, like we've established Paris, all of the London, like all the English cities that we've talked about. Yeah.
Is there?
Yeah. If nothing else, I'm interested in seeing what you accomplish. And they say America is a land of opportunity. Well, I should take my opportunity to take my opportunities.
That is
Opportuniception.
That is a sentiment I agree with completely.
And anyway, the money is flowing in here. Europe seems unstable.
Very well.
And there are, about 10 people who speak French just above us, so...
Fair enough.
But no, I'm going to take a trip, but I think I'll be back.
Very well.
If you'll still have me as your, secretary?
Absolutely.
I thought we were going with assistant.
Personal assistant. Defense against the dark arts teacher.
I hear they end up in poor condition. No,
Let's not talk about Harry Potter.
Fuck J.K.
Nope.
Rowling.
You can say that though.
Anyway, I will leave this in your care. Thank you.
I go to the floor safe behind my desk and put it in it.
Because yeah, you've got one.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of not having a defined floor plan means that things we didn't think of can exist. Best part. Or else you'd all be living in like 2 rooms. because So you go ahead and do that.
Then I'll go back downstairs and if they're doing sabotage training, I'll help with sabotage training.
Okay. Gonna roll the I guess we're doing the another one than the one that we were doing before. So
You want to do carte blanche or you want to do precision?
Let's do the carte blanche because that gives us another option.
Okay, so that was speed shooting, right? And I can
Yep.
apply my veteran roll to that. Or was that the other one?
No, that was the other one.
Okay.
Yeah, because this one's just about putting as much out there as possible. Veteran would be.
Oh yeah, and I have like little help in this area.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you want to get this one out of the way.
Shooting.
So can I offer my help?
I will give you a bigger dice. I think you have better dice than I do.
Well, I don't think he has. How much speed do you have, and how much shooting do you have?
D6 and D8.
A D6 and a D8.
No, I think he just has one each.
I have one each.
Yeah, I have a D6 in speed, a D6 in shooting, a D8 in shooting.
So you have a better shot with
the carte blanche.
With Larence, yeah. And I'll say, since you do have a dice in shooting, you can provide a D8 as help on there. And we're just gonna say that's a straight D8, just because you don't have a lot for shooting. We'll put that into the people trying to fake waves,
okay,
kind of thing.
So speed, shooting, D8.
Yep.
Okay.
Question
Speed.
though, just to point out on this one, I thought we weren't doing this specific action until nighttime.
No, yeah.
It can still work.
Okay.
I'm not gonna be that much of a dick about
Speed. Shooting. And then a D8, right?
Yep.
So 2.
All right. Doesn't go the best. By doing it as fast as physically possible, you miss some. They don't hit the boat at all. They kind of like overshoot or undershoot, but it could be viable if you just want to get it done quickly. You can.
Yeet and delete, basically.
Yeah, essentially. You could theoretically, and you can't really test this out because you don't have a mobile target or area you're throwing from, but you could do this at speed. You could build up a decent amount of speed on the river and just do this as you pass. So and
then just keep going.
And just keep going and don't stay in the area instead of the other ones which you have to stop for.
Is there a cart or a wheelbarrow or something around?
I've already let you do a lot. I've already let you do a lot with this.
You cannot blame a girl for trying.
But no, that's the benefit of this one, is that you won't be around quick. You won't be around for long after you do it. So they all have a bonus. You'll just have less dice to throw for it, kind of thing. So you go ahead and do that. That's your shift 2. And I'm saying I'm not gonna make you roll for it, Jack, but your shift 2 is dedicated to getting everything set up at the.
Oh yeah. I'm calling the town goes like, hi, I'm booking the steps outside. Press conference. Standard drill is like you just have to put in a requisition form, make sure one of the microphones is there.
Yeah, it doesn't require a roll.
No, not
but
even a
you're
microphone.
gonna dedicate time to it.
Yep, that's fine.
Yep. So you do that. Shift 3. What does everybody want to do? You've done stealth. You've done sabotage.
Can I, and someone can come with if they want to, can I head to the warehouse at the cannery and find out where the nearest payphones are?
Sure. That's
I'll go with.
That's actually something I forgot from like last time that I think I needed to share with everyone. Me and Larence memorized where all the nearest manhole covers and stuff are, as well as sewer entrance to
Can one of you two draw a map then whilst we're...
Don't leave that to me. That's probably a craft check.
I'm not good at that either.
I would say it'd be an academics check.
Okay.
Be mind academics.
Then maybe that is what I would do.
And I could assist with that because I've obviously he said it to me when we left, because we'd be trying to jog each other's memories basically. Even though I don't have any dice in academics.
I'll allow it.
It'd be a mind roll. That would be it.
Oop.
Hang on. Wait, let me roll my mind roll and see if you get a D12.
Oh yeah.
You do. You get a D12 added to this.
Okay, so
Mind
Larence's memory is okay.
I've done the mind, I've done the academics, and then a
D12.
D12.
It's a 2.
Okay.
Push up.
It's a
I love-
crudely drawn map with street names, and then there's one here, one here.
I love the fact though that every
So-
time Jack has tried to give people maps, they've always been bad.
Shit. Yeah.
Every
Compared to
time.
his last character, whose whole thing was.
It's okay. It's okay. My supervisors are exactly the same thing with maps and sketches of what I'm building. They're all terrible. So
You're just
I can
looking at
work
them like,
this.
okay, can I get a translator out here, please?
The fact is,
Hire
though,
a translator.
the funny thing is, it's not like it's a hard check. It's just, he just cannot roll good on these. It's funny. So
You
yeah,
want to try directions from a Dundonian, and like when they keep talking about the circle, like what's a circle? Oh, roundabout.
So you get a general gist of the sewer entrances and exits and manhole covers in the
Lena
area. It's not-
remembers the map that the Alderman gave her of City Hall, sighs, puts it in her pocket, and decides that she's going to mark things as she sees them around the cannery.
burn it. Just
Probably the smarter idea.
pray to the map
I would have
gods
liked
while
to
you
say
burn it.
there's like an ordnance servo map with like the streets that are just highlighted, like the entire street. There's one on here.
Larence
Yep.
is just like, oh, for fuck.
So, you do that. Roman, was there anything you wanted to do? Just do some rest, or
Okay. The Molotovs, how did they get made? Were they a good make?
fire bombs were. I believe you rolled for them. They were average.
Average. Okay, so average.
They're
works.
average. They will work without a negative to them.
Cool.
Essentially, they're just it's a bottle with flammable liquid and something to light it. Yeah.
That's some soda
good.
ash, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, how many?
Enough.
Yes, that's the answer to that question. Yes.
Yeah.
Milk crate.
Right.
Whichever you decide to do, you will have enough for. Because I'm not gonna. Because this.
That's fine. Yeah.
That way, when you do this, and if anything happens or anything like that, you can't use them in combat.
We have enough to do the job. That's it.
That's it. Yep.
Whatever way we decide to do it, we have enough. And
Uh-huh. Okay.
There you go. It's a quest check mark. You have it's like from a
Quest item can't be equipped.
yeah. It's like a Telltale game. You have this item.
yeah, it doesn't matter how many of them you have, you just have this item.
Yeah. So with that, you've got that. If you want me to present you options you could do to help things along, or if you have your own ideas.
Options. Give me options.
Okay. Well, there's a lot of different things that you could do, because you have a lot of things that have to be prepped beforehand. You've done physical training. And
I'll
stuff.
go look over the cars.
Looking over the cars, looking over the boat that you've been told at a dock location is at. You could even. It's a high risk one that negatives would, that if failures would cause things to, but you could go to the opposite bank of where the boat is on the other side in Juniper in Woodruff and look from that side to maybe see what's going on.
If I was
That's
going to
an
do that, it would be at night.
Yeah, that is an option. That is an option. You could say you're going to use a shift at night, and we're just going to basically the shifts are just a way to break up the day. So
No, I
those
will
are
go and
options.
look over
Cleaning
the cars
weapons.
and the boat that we're going to use. I will save one of the nighttime time zones to take a look at the target.
One of the two you have left, because there's
Yeah.
two that are at night. Okay, give me so if you're looking over the vehicles just to see what's going on with them. God,
Mind observation.
Yeah, probably mind ops would work, because mind ops would work. Transport could also work too. Mind transport.
believe that's 4 successes.
4 successes. One of them is just an average-looking town car, not nothing out of the ordinary. Looks to be in good running condition. Doesn't have any like bad seals. Batteries look to be. Yeah, battery. Yeah, they'd have battery at this point, I think. Whatever. Car thing looked good.
Wheels go round. Ugh,
Yeah.
Ugh.
I'm not a car person, or don't know what the hell I'm doing with them. Got that. The other one is a bit rougher. It would require a dedicated amount of time to fix up if you wanted to try and fix it up. You need to, like, a couple of the tires aren't. You'd have to replace them with some newer tires. They're a bit worn. Engines pretty well used. A lot of miles on it. I think this is before odometers existed.
There's a bit of rattling, you know. Doesn't sound great.
So you don't know how many miles it's been put through, but there's been some. So there's a chance it could negatively affect whoever is using this for a getaway or for a vehicle, and you're not super sure on the registration of it either. The other one looks to be good, like it has license plate on it and everything. This one doesn't, so you're not sure if there's a reason for that or not. That one you might not be able to fix that part of it, but the mechanical part you might be able to. But it would require a dedicated amount of time to fix that kind of stuff, and you spent all of this shift inspecting them, essentially. You'd have to do another shift to inspect the boat if you wanted to inspect it, because it's essentially like you're spending a dedicated amount of time to work on these.
Okay, in which case I will draft Larence into helping me fix up the busted up car.
Okay, for the last shift of the day. Cool. And
Lawrence
Harry
puts on his
and
riding clothes and goes through that because oil and grease and stuff.
Harry and Lena, you go out to check the cannery. What are you trying to do? Are you just casing it?
We're looking for payphones. And I think maybe sort of routes in and out that sort of the main traffic throughways, so we can sort of keep an eye out for the cars arriving, because I assume they're arriving by car. And then escape routes for us, so alleys and things.
Got it.
Unless there's anything else, Utari.
Access, egress, we sorted that. Payphone is important, yeah. And generally anything that might come to mind as being, ooh, that's a bit suspicious. Ooh, better watch out for that. Anything that might stand out, like, you know, I doubt they'd have certain checkpoints or security guards or anything like that set up right now. But, you know, any signs that something's untoward.
Okay. Just trying to think. That's a lot of varied amount of tasks. I say mostly you're just trying to observe things at this point. So I'm going to make it a mind observation. Whoever has the most dice they can throw to that, take the lead on it, and the other one just has to make a mind ops check with 1 success to add a d8 to the
I've got a d6 and 2 d8.
I've got a D6 and a D8, so you got the better observation.
So you roll your bones and I roll mine.
Yeah. So sorry.
So I rolled a D8. Did you say?
You make a mind observation check yourself, and if you have 1 success, you can add that dice to Lena's roll.
Yes.
Okay. So yes, you get a D8 on top of whatever you're rolling. So a D6 and 3 D8.
I'm rolling like shit tonight.
Wild swings tonight. Wild swings between really good and really bad.
Hey, I've been perfectly mediocre. Excuse you.
It's true. So what you get is it might have been better for Harry to take that. Tari's hot tonight.
Stop it.
Aside from my first set.
So, what you get from this is trying to think. It's a success, but it's not a full success. So I'm trying to think of.
Can we get the payphones? That's really what she wants because she needs to be able to communicate.
I'm just gonna roll some lux on the various different things here because you'll have a couple. So you get the payphones. There's not too many around here. It's a factory district, so there's there's not a lot of public infrastructure on the street level, but there are a few not too far away, within easy walking distance. I would say at least two, in different locations. Entry and egress points. That's also fairly easy to get. There's a few side doors and a main loading bay to the building. So the main loading bay is obviously very big. It's made to trucks to be loaded and unloaded at. Probably be fairly hard to get in and out of that with anybody noticing. But the side doors, a few of them are in line of sight of the main factory floor, but a few others aren't. So you make note of which ones are which. And I'll say you don't get a good view. You don't get a good clock on anything else that you were trying to get. Let's say those two are the ones you get successes in. So you get a good idea of entry and egress and the payphones from your time there. Spend basically that shift. It was mostly you check that, but you're also being very, low to the ground. You're not trying to, you're not trying to be spotted. So maybe overly cautious even, but that way it's no chance.
On the way back, is there somewhere where she could buy a map of...
What was that?
On the way back, is there somewhere she can buy a map of Texas?
A map of Texas.
I realise that sounds weird given that we're, Midwest,
no.
but...
No. I can't. I think I know where you're going for. I'm just gonna.
I've got a globe.
Texas is big. It's not
It's
that
full of
big.
alcohol.
Yeah, you want like a road atlas.
I want to be able to sort of figure out if there's a particular area that the mayor's properties are in. Because place names don't mean anything to Lena, but put them on a map.
I think we worked out it's oil country.
No, we worked out it wasn't.
Oh, yeah.
It's not where the oil country is right now. At this point, I'll say this: it's you can find a road atlas, which is for a United States road atlas. It actually does list things other than they're very big, very detailed. I have a couple around here, so that'd be the closest you could get
That'll
without
work,
going.
I think.
If it'd be. I don't even know today where I'd buy a map. If I needed to buy
Amazon.
a map of something.
Amazon.
Well, no, I mean if I had to if I was in a city and I was like, okay,
Service station.
buy a map of a state you're not in.
Yeah, that's true.
But I know go to a truck stop, you can buy a road atlas of the U.S. So that's basically what you get.
Okay, cool. And she'll stop at the sweet shop on the way back as well because she's going to need some thinking candy.
Okay, it's not a problem. That's not a problem. Let's just make a roll for fourth shift for the two that are working on the vehicles. I'll say this: you're working on something with these, so you're gonna. It's gonna be a toss-up between craft and transport.
I have dice in neither.
What does Roman have? Does Roman have anything in transport or craft? Nope.
No.
All right. Well, it's a mind check to get through this.
Okay, so I'm going to say this. I think it's best if Larence assists, because if I fail, I don't give you a negative. Because of team.
And he can assist and give you a D12.
Yeah, and I give you a D12.
Yeah.
So if you fail, you'll negatively inflict Larence, but if I fail, I won't do anything to you, so you'll still have a chance to succeed.
Larence is built to be a help monkey.
He's good at a lot of different things and kind of really and decent at 3 things, and that's it.
It depends.
Am
I guess
the
it
only
depends.
one with the dice in craft?
It's not a common trait. It's not
So I'll
At least
roll
for
my, was it
for some
mine?
of these jobs. Yeah, because it's mind. It's Minecraft mine transport.
Okay.
Uh,
I couldn't
actually, looking
leverage
at your
body
guys'
for that at
stats
all,
as well.
'cause,
No.
I'm moving stuff and lifting. Okay.
No. Also, I would
thought
say
it
this: Roman wants to take lead on that because your mind is actually better than Lawrence's mind because you've got a
Yeah,
D8
mine's
in
a
it.
D6.
Okay.
Just want to see if I have anything that would help with this. Nope. Grand total of 0 things. So mind. Doesn't do anything.
Well. Oh well. So it's just a mind check, Roman, as just to see if you succeed.
Hey.
Okay, you succeeded, which is good. A failure would have been bad. Not a lot of threshold to go down on this vehicle. It's just-
Just stops working. Just like, shit. Axle fell.
engine blew up. What? No.
Get
So I'll say
the
with
spark
this,
plugs back in.
Yeah. I'd say with just one success, since there wasn't like a DC, it was more just like how good or bad was it. The tires are replaced. That's basically what you both do. Like neither of you are really good like mechanics with your hand.
This
These are
isn't the modern day where most people know how to like change
Yeah.
a tire or replace oil or something like that.
driving's a job.
Yeah.
Like
Like Larence had to do it at the start of the
I
campaign,
would
and I'm like,
quite happily do driving as a job. I'd like to point that out.
Yeah, no, I would too.
It's just cool. Especially if it happens to be I'm driving a Maserati.
I actually read a statistic last night because I was reading like academic work, and during World War
As you
II,
do.
out of all of the USO, only 532 responded in a survey that they could drive relatively professionally.
No, before
That's- yeah,
before
that's
World
like-
War II, the vehicle, like being proficient with a vehicle of any sort was not
Rare.
common.
Yeah.
Like you had it was something you learned from a job, or you were
Or you
if
were rich.
enough. Well, no, if you were rich enough, you had a driver.
Yeah.
And
you didn't drive yourself. You had someone who was paid.
there was a
to drive
very
you.
small subset of people that were rich enough to have a vehicle, but not rich enough to not pay somebody
Unless it's
to
a
drive
sports
them
car
somewhere.
that they drove.
Yeah.
Like,
So that's so you were able to get the tires changed out, basically. Like you
Big
were
grip
able
on
to.
the road. It's good stuff.
Yeah, you found like a shop that sells tires. You bought some new ones, replaced them. They look better, so it's not gonna almost be rotted tires as they were before. So shouldn't have that much trouble. Engine's still kind of iffy, but if you wanted to spend another shift working on that as an
Yeah.
equipment thing, that'll be a whole shift tomorrow, and it'll be the same checks.
Look,
so it's
simply we need to try and make sure the car is usable.
The car is usable.
this-
It's just you have a negative right now if we use it. It's just saying.
Exactly.
Drive it and all that.
yeah. So
and
here's,
none of
here's
us
the way
have
that-
driving skill, so we need it not to have a negative.
Basically.
Fair. Suppose. I think.
No, to be
Lawrence is the
fair,
only person
none
who's
of you
actually
know
driven
how to.
everything.
None of you know how to use a boat either, because no, I don't think anybody has a transport dice.
No.
I could have taken one, but I upped my willpower.
Is this a rowboat? Well, actually, no. That you haven't told Roman what.
No,
kind of boat.
no. You've been told what it is. You just haven't seen it. It's a rowboat.
Oh well, then I would argue endurance because it's just a rowboat.
I would argue that as well.
No, I would say it could be either or, but it'll basically be you're brute forcing it instead of actually like kind of knowing what you're doing. essentially.
Yeah, like that would like
Yeah,
Lawrence
but
is all right.
You can get it to go,
maneuvering.
but do you know how to stop it?
Do you know how to stop it? Do you know how to turn it efficiently or change its heading quickly?
I mean,
if you're not
Lawrence
used to
could
it,
do
it's
that
difficult.
tomorrow. He could go down and practice, or I suppose. That's
Yeah.
what he could do.
You could. Here's the thing: you only have 4 more shifts, so
Yeah.
so it's either
Oh, well, let's
So-
see if we can get the car sorted first.
yeah. So
And then I will
basically
go
at this
to the
point, You're
boat.
running out of time to fix things. So you traded it for training, which is not a bad thing, but it was kind of
Yeah.
before anybody asked, what could we do other things?
So, La Pan, please practice with the tape recorder.
Do we have enough pressings to be able to practice?
You have enough.
Yeah. Yes, because that's something we rolled well on, and it's a small one.
Yes. Yeah, you got a good.
All right.
You
So
got one that added a
I'm going to
bonus.
practice with the tape recorder
And
then.
Harry do the same, because I'm not sure who's going in yet.
cross training specialties.
Just making sure. It won't be obviously in a night shift, but in a morning shift, Jack would like to go down to the bank and make sure that he changes up some money into small bills and small change, so that everyone in the group will have money for payphones, for taxis, anything that they might need, like as a pocket change.
Before we go on to the next day, can Lena
Sure.
and Larence have a
Oh,
date?
absolutely. Oh.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you don't get a 4th shift.
That's fine. I'm cool with
So you
that.
don't get a Harry.
Lawrence comes
you're
back. He's getting changed, getting showered and changed.
oh, first things first, Harry. Since you're the only one that doesn't have a 4th shift job and nobody's trained with the recorder, that's what you're doing. Because you've been told to by Lena. So.
Well, she skipped off to get changed or something.
Yeah. So that's gonna be. Oh God. Jesus. This game isn't meant for this kind of stuff.
Still fun though.
What? You
I know,
really?
it's fun.
Like it may not be built for it.
Remember
but
how I
it's fun.
said we were bending it to the point of breaking? We're just close.
Yes.
We're very close to that. I'm gonna say it's gonna be a mind. It's gonna be mind because you're operating a mechanical device, and I'm gonna say even though it doesn't make a lot of sense mechanically, it's gonna be an observation because I think it uses the same idea as like you have to know how to listen to maybe know how to listen well with a recorder. I don't know. I'm reaching.
You just reach and you're just like, I'm just gonna throw darts.
We're trying to make it work. That'd be a mind observation check, and you get an extra D8 because it's a good recorder. Just generally. And that's you, Harry.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just getting a lot of DMs.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, what was it?
It's a mind observation check for you with an extra D8 because you're working on the recorder.
Mind observation and DA. Sorry, we just got someone who's really badly trying to put a spy into my evil corp, and it's like, oh, panic stations. Yes, this game goes to that level.
Well, yeah. That's why I don't play it. So, with 2 successes, I'll say you get somewhat perfect. You know how it works. You get some decent recordings out of it, and you'd have to. You have a range. You kind of know generally how far you can be before it starts not working to capture voices. So like, yeah, you don't have a perfect understanding, but you've got a decent one of
Okay.
how it works. So yes. So you do that, and then the date, because everybody else has their 4th shift already done.
What did I do?
I think.
You went to the bank. No, that was in the
No,
morning.
that'll be in the
It's
morning.
in the morning.
Do
I
you
haven't
want
done
to do the map?
No. You've seen me roll for maps.
You could do a little bit more work on your speech.
I could do. Yeah, I'll spend the I'll spend the evening doing some more speech writing.
All right, just go ahead and roll that. What we had before was diplomacy, and then.
No, it was mind. Sorry, not will.
Yeah, it was mind.
Mind, presence, and then diplomacy. That's some 2s right there.
Hey, get on the ground, do 2 push-ups, motherfucker. Get down.
That's 1 success. So got that checked off. All right, and now the date.
So Larence is wearing a auburn suit with a tie that's matching Lena's fur color, the majority color. So that's sort of browny kind of color. The left shoulder, he has asked our favorite weasel to custom put this like dress uniform patch over the suit jacket, where he has 3 medals pinned over his chest, French Foreign Legion medals. And he is well dressed, well prepped, and he is waiting for Lena at the front door.
Before Lena arrives, I'm gonna while I'm refilling a coffee, I've got the keys to the good car, and I just palm it to Larence, and then I go back upstairs to continue writing my speech.
Wait, no, because the car is still at the airport.
Still the airport.
No. The one of the 2 that we've got for the
good cars. You wanted
the good car. The good car out of the one we got, which I
assume that would have been driven here as like a proxy for the.
Yeah, they're both still there. Yeah, they're both there.
Do we just assume that the Alderman's car is just a bomb?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what we've been.
Nobody's checked.
Nobody's checked. At this point, I don't think anyone is going to check.
Nobody's checked if there's a bomb in it or a body in it, or if it's just kind of there ominously, or both. There's Freddy's body with his hands tied to the steering wheel that's just been there for 4 days.
He was alive. He was just tied up.
Oh, that would have been even worse. Oh god.
Who knows?
We don't know. We probably never will know.
Schrodinger's Freddy.
Schrodinger's coyote. Wasn't he a coyote? Yeah.
Stop making me laugh. It hurts my face.
His face literally hurts.
Oh, sorry, Utari.
Sorry.
You know what? Laugh through the pain, Utari. It's fine. It's fine.
It does release endorphins.
It does.
I'm waiting for like 3 days' time where we get explosion at the municipal airport.
Our body found at the municipal airport. In car registered to
to mayor. So yes, you have the keys to the good car.
He's like, oh shit, I don't have to drive, but I suppose thanks.
You know how to drive. You drove here in episode 1. You know how to drive.
Did, but I have no dice in transport. So
no.
Yeah. He was a shit driver.
I was a shit driver.
Yeah.
There's a reason why it took so long for me to do my shift.
So
Lena comes out looking at Pretty. She's wearing green. Yeah, green. You ready?
Oui, mademoiselle.
Are we taking the car?
I'm not a great driver.
Tram?
Oui. He'll pocket the keys in his jacket. I do appreciate you offering them to me at least.
So you get on a tram. Where are you all wanting to go?
Dancing.
Yeah, dancing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
it doesn't matter if I don't know if would Lena or Larence prefer alcohol involved or not? Would they prefer somewhere where they can actually get served alcohol?
I think Lena's trying to keep a clear head for the next few days.
That's fair. So yeah, somewhere where
above ground dance hall.
Above ground.
Got it.
Works.
Above ground dance hall. Got that. Good. I just realized it's gonna be hilarious if the climax of this story is just all of you getting in car accidents, and it's just and just Jack's at home and he's just like, Wonder how it went. Everything's success, except they just couldn't get back. They just crashed the cars.
Yeah, I've already phoned in. I'm gonna say, where is everybody? Well,
So
no loose ends.
He pulls out a 44 Magnum.
No loose ends. What? There's just a town car that just pulls a pistol out inside your
Yeah, like everyone is just walking up
out of a closet.
Magnum
So
and just
there's a dance hall that is somewhat popular. It's middle of the week, so yeah, I'm not gonna. Yeah, you can. There's something. It's just not gonna be totally filled. It's not gonna be like
that
a
works.
party.
That's fine.
But yeah, kind of catering to people.
We might be alive at the weekend. It's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah, no, it's good. Actually, you know what I say? It's like it's like one of those restaurant kind of things that have a dance floor that were very popular back then. They had like shows and stuff as well. Kind of. So it's a little
But if
fancier.
there's eating involved as well, then they'll be doing the eating as well as the dancing.
Yes.
Got it.
Dinner first, a little bit of dancing.
All right. So yeah.
So, over dinner or during quiet time, doesn't matter. She looks nervous. You know what I put off talking to you about before?
Well, I don't know, but I know you put off talking to me about something.
Feels too soon and it feels too late, if that makes any sense at all.
Makes all the sense in the world, Sherry.
Would you come back to France with me for a visit?
It's been a
Wiggles
while since I've been
eyebrows.
back there. It's been a while since I've been back in France, but mind if I ask why?
A few reasons. One, being here and hearing French for the first time in years, like spoken properly, rather than just bonjour, my name is Bob, is...
Larence giggles.
It's refreshing. But it has made me homesick. And I've not heard from my family for a while. Certainly not seen them. I think I've got nieces and nephews now. I don't know how my father is doing. Honestly, it's been the longest month of my life. I think I need a break. And I think you need one too.
I think it's the opposite for me. I think this month has flown past. But, sure. What part of France would we be visiting? I've seen a few places.
Just north of Paris.
Oh. Very fancy.
Not the bit I'm from. A lot of rabbits. Probably more now.
Larence just shrugs. Sure. That seemed like it'd be fun. And it's with you, so even better.
Good. That's settled then. Once everything's done, book some
Come
tickets.
out on top. Don't forget that part.
Come out on top. I think the trip's about 2 weeks over. So if we take the trip and then stay a month and then come back, that's 2 months leave.
I'm sure if we pull this off, Andrews wouldn't mind giving us 2 weeks off. 2 months off.
I don't
he
think so
deserves-
either.
I think we deserve a little bit more than just 2 months if we manage to pull this off, to be honest.
True. That's a point, actually. Are we getting paid for this?
I've been getting paid. Haven't you?
No, but I mean, I feel like if this happens, we need a bonus.
We should probably talk to him about that. Sherry, I'm not the guy with the money.
Oh, we
We
lost
just
our...
lost our DM.
Yeah.
He's been having issues with us not being able to hear him, I think. I've been seeing him move, though.
Hello?
Try
Can
speaking.
you hear us, Roach? That's a no. He cannot hear us.
You guys are getting paid? That meme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, talk to Andrews about that maybe. Though maybe the wheelwrights will. Well, maybe our employers. He doesn't say wheelwrights. He says employers. Maybe our employers will think of forwarding us a little something for helping them along with their current situation.
I hope so. Mostly for Harry.
He made a big score. Listen, I know big is relative, but big for him, alright? Listen, stop being so detrimental to the poor fella. He's already British.
He make an
Savage. Savage.
I apologize.
Although I would say
People
English
in
would be the
call
term.
with me.
Generally, they were more on board with describing people rather than as British as just straightforward English.
He's English. I suppose if anyone could make the differentiating comment, it would be someone from the Isles. Maybe. Perfect.
Oh, what was going on?
I changed the video server.
No, I saw that. I was just, I don't know what. I guess that just hit again.
I've been kind of putting away the money that I've been getting paid, and there's a nice apartment not too far away from where Andrews is. 3rd floor. Got a balcony. Pretty big. Just need to furnish it. Has this thing called a refrigerator.
A what?
Those things are death traps.
Yeah, 100%.
Quite literally at this point. Like,
Yeah. I don't think he'd use it, to be honest. He's still an old school Iceman. But, if you want, I can give you a key. You don't have to move in with me. That seems a bit much moment, maybe. I don't know. I've never really done this whole thing, so I'm reaching around here trying to figure out my way
Right,
through it
but
all.
we are just about to spend 2 weeks on a boat in very close quarters, so we shall see how that goes.
Larence just gives her a very sly smile
Wolf dog howl.
and then simply says, the shed.
I don't know what you mean.
He holds up his glass. Now, shall we dance?
Maybe. Yes. And yeah, that's good.
okay. Ooh. Midge, can you just try for me going back to the previous?
Well, we were on
video server?
automatic, so I'll try and go somewhere
Because Red's got, because now
I
we
hear
switched
it.
over, Red's got a little tinge there.
Yeah.
Tinge. So I think.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Rotterdam.
This time of year.
That's better. Yeah. And you're all moving now.
I need
so
to be
that's
right
good.
back. But continue on without me.
Bye, Mitch.
So, with that, we end off that day. And we go to the 19th, the day before. So we have 4 shifts for today. And a lot of things to do. For some people, not a lot for others.
So what are we thinking? Do we do car, then Larence do the boat, and then we'd have 2 more shifts, so we could either do the final method of setting the ship on fire and then something else. That's what I'm thinking for Larence anyway. Larence could help somebody out in the evening.
Car and boat. Roach, if we were to redo one of the things, attacks, will we get an additional bonus?
Doing it again?
Yeah.
Not really, because the point of it is that you're just accruing successes for a bonus. So I'm not sure how I would do that. It wouldn't be too balanced.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so cars in the morning for Larence and Roman. Then Larence is going to go to the boat, get a bit of practice in.
With Roman,
get a bit of practice in. Because Roman might as well be there to simulate the weight. And then we go to practice. And then we have a free shift after that, for me at least. See if anyone else needs a bit of help.
Well, there are other things you could do. You could observe the boat from the opposite bank just to get a kind of a gauge of.
Should Larence go ahead and service everyone's weapons at the end of the day, just in case we need to use them?
That's also valid. You can do maintenance.
There's one person here who knows how a gun works. It's the guy who spent 13 years shooting them, 14 years shooting them.
Yeah.
At other people.
Totally do that if you'd like.
Does that sound good to everyone? For Larence then for the day? Right. So Larence is cars, boat, sabotage, gun, maintenance.
So let's do the cars. Since you've already worked out your day, we'll just kind of go through that. Let's do the cars, which is just going to be Larence makes a mind check, and if he succeeds, then Roman will get another die.
Nope, nothing happens though. Thank you.
All right, so Roman, go ahead and
roll your
and
D10, D8. Hey, max roll, nice.
Okay. With that, you're able
Utari
to.
need us to change where we are.
I don't know. He hasn't said anything in chat, so I'm not sure.
Speak to us, Utari, if you can hear us. Nope.
So, with that check, you're able to get into the engine, and so let me check here. Technically, not everything's able to be done, but I'm just gonna roll here to see how much. Okay. So it'll still give you a negative because of the registration issues, but that negative goes from a D6 to a D4 when you make a roll against it. So it'll go down because the mechanical issues have been mostly worked out. You've been able to figure out, for the most part, how to get it kind of to a neutral state. Let's just say that. It's not tuned up or anything, but you placed a couple of spark plugs and got some belts replaced.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, replace some belts, retighten things, that kind of stuff. Just preventative maintenance, but late preventative maintenance.
Better than no preventative maintenance, I suppose.
Yes, so you got that done. Then later on in the day, you head out to the river where you've been told that there is a boat. When you go there, you find relatively close to where you were told to find a rowboat. Just a flat bottom little rowboat sitting tied up on one of the small docks next to on the bank of the river. So what did you want to do with it? Do you want to
Larence is going to get into it with Roman, and we're just going to get into it and paddle it around a bit. trying, and Larence is going to get a feel for it. Like, I know, obviously, if you paddle with the right hand or you go left, but Larence might not know that. So he just wants to get a general idea of how things work.
It's more about that's not hard. It's more about getting a sense of being able to do that under pressure, because things you're unfamiliar with, even basic things like that, can, if you're not used to them or they're not trained in, you can immediately leave your mind and you just panic. Kind of things.
He remembers stuff like that from the war.
Yeah, from the war. So okay, yeah, that's gonna be.
Could I argue body endurance? Because it's obviously something he's not done before either. He doesn't know what the strain is going to be like. So
it's not. But the way you described that specifically wasn't. You're using your mental capacity to do that. Or you weren't using your body. You were trying to mind it.
Endurance then.
I'll just let me think for a second.
Okay, I'll let you away with it.
I'll say this. Since you're trying to learn this, you're learning this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, you're trying to learn it, but it's not necessarily an academic thing you're learning here. You're trying to get used to something, and because of the loose definitions of all of these skills and traits, we're gonna say it's a mind. I'm gonna say observation, because you're trying to learn through observance how this interacts with the water and how you can quickly work.
Well, I am doing it. Is the thing.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You're observing how it functions, like and everything. You're doing that. I would say, because endurance just says you're powering through it, but that's not how you're describing it, and that wouldn't really be something that builds any kind of knowledge base for it.
Yeah, I'm getting it. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about body observation? I know that makes no sense, but it's like muscle memory.
To a sense, but
if I had been doing this every day, I would argue body.
Yeah, but he's literally spending 4 hours today trying to learn how to use the boat. So I'm gonna say it's a mind observation check.
I don't have any gifts that would help with that. Could I use my personality? I don't know. It's jaded, but I could.
No.
No. I just wanted to say, hey, could I use it? So
hard no.
Mind observation, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say.
Could Roman assist me?
If Roman's got a dice in observation, he can roll his mind observation, and if he succeeds, he can give you a D8.
Yeah, I've got mind observation.
All right, go ahead and roll that then. Because this is also you just you're telling Larence how it's kind of no, you need to do this more, or you're kind of
2.
Okay, you got 1 success. That's all you need to provide aid.
So it's mind observation D8.
And then a D8, yes.
Mind. Okay. Observation. Nice.
Okay.
D8. Fine. 2 successes.
2 successes. That will go into that column for the sabotage mission. So yeah, I mean,
he's getting it. He started.
You're getting it. It's not like if you're getting shot at, anything's hard. That you haven't.
That's fair. He'd know that.
You haven't drilled into your body like hardcore muscle memory. So you're honest enough with yourself to know you might not want to get shot at while we're trying to do this.
He will tell Roman
I might go the wrong way or something.
He'll tell Roman that when they're putting the boat back on the would it be a quay or a dock? I suppose it'd just be a dock, wouldn't it?
It's just a little dock, I said.
Yeah. He's as much as I can understand a lot of it, I get it, but I don't think I want to be shot at when I'm doing that. It might not go too well.
And we want to make sure that no one really pays attention to us when we're coming up.
Fair.
We may want to move the boat upriver then.
How close could we get, do you think? Is there any docks closer?
If we can get it upriver and then use the river to bring us down without using the oars.
That's not how this river works. Actually, this is the one river that breaks that rule in the world, because Chicago actually reversed the flow of the Illinois River to away from the Great Lakes, so it actually feeds into the Mississippi. So this does not flow towards the lake, actually, because of the way that they've dug canals. It flows away from the lake.
Right, but what sort of river then?
How does that work?
I honestly don't know, but none of the rivers in Chicago flow towards the lake. They flow away from the lake because of the way that they've dug things.
So we upriver already?
Yes, essentially, yeah. You don't have to go
in which
anywhere.
case, then we would just float down with the thing, and then
Float down, and then once we start throwing stuff, Larence just goes, all right, and then just fast as he can out.
Just keep following the ridge, just getting as far down and away from them as possible.
Yeah. While we're on the dock, is there any... Actually, no, this would be something that we wanted to check at the other end for, like, sewer entrances or anything like that on the water level.
We found one already, remember? In the compound.
You know, like one that, like, when I
found one already.
No, like, I mean, like, one that when we've got down the river after chucking the Molotovs, we can get off the boat and immediately go into the sewers. And just get gone, basically.
That would depend on where we got out the river.
Yeah, exactly. Because I want to know if there's one further down somewhere that we can get to relatively.
There will probably be one further down. We'd probably have to look for it because we don't know where we're going to get off the river.
Yeah.
It'd be something, and also you're not sure how, if you're going to need to.
If they start chasing us down the riverbank, we're going to have to go further and further and further to be away from them.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. We'll play it by ear on the night.
Yeah, makes sense.
But it is something that Larence will suggest because, you know, makes sense.
I just looked it up, by the way, and I there's a diagram in front of me on how they dug certain canals and everything to reverse the flow of the Chicago and the Claremont rivers. Still don't understand it.
It's like, man, I don't fucking know.
Still don't understand. They reversed the flow of 2 fucking rivers away from the Great Lakes. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Some absolute maniac back then was just like, what if we did this? And the entire city of Chicago was like, yeah, the entire city of Chicago was just like, oh, hell yeah, bro. Sounds great.
Just high up proto-cocaine.
High level water mage right there.
Yeah, 100%.
Man is
Level
part
20
Visa.
water elemental. Yeah.
So yeah, you don't need to move the boat. That's definitely
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah.
We know.
Come from great North American beaver stock on my family side, on my father's side. I can build you a dam. I can change the flow of the river.
Did that in 1900, by the way.
That's what I'm saying.
Wow. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were high on proto-cocaine. We've just established that.
Yeah. I mean, you do a lot of things high on proto-cocaine. Let's be honest.
Yeah, like sit there and go, you know, this should be so much better if we actually kind of refined it.
Right.
Yeah, someone was just like,
Anyone got some ethanol?
Let's go get better.
So
Go get better.
We can cut that shit with that.
down, please. So, you work through that. That's 2 shifts. Larence, let's go with your
Third shift was sabotage.
third shift is sabotage. So we'll go back. You do your sabotage training, which is eat at least 2 other people's shifts. So Harry and Lena's shifts as well.
The last one is a precision strike one, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, if you wanted to do
Strike,
that.
but like the one where we're trying to get stuff inside, essentially.
Yeah, which you can weigh your veteran.
They started
Okay.
that in 1887.
High on proto-cocaine. We've already been over this.
Also,
Yeah.
I just put in reverse the flow and it auto-filled to of the Chicago River.
Yeah, that's the thing, because there's nobody else that I know of that's done it like on an institutional level. It breaks the rules.
It's like, why did you do this? Because I can.
and you're looking at the same chart I was. It makes no sense how it's not flowing into Lake Michigan.
Very weird. Very weird. So this is the one where it's mind shooting veteran for me.
Yes.
So that would be D6, D6, D12. Sorry, D8 and D12.
Yes. Though we do know that Roman has a shooting die, which means you can help in this. So you have to make a mind shooting check, and if you get a success, you can add a d8 to Larence's roll if you would like. Though if you fail, it's negative.
Now I'm just sure that whenever they die in the river, it's actually like a cover-up for a massive ritual to whatever god they had to pray to actually get the river to fucking
100%.
go the other way.
That's a sacrifice to like the deities.
Fucking St. Patty's Day Green River. I hate that.
Was Chicago Cubs blue for the World Series as well.
I do hate it. I do hate it. Anyway.
There's a reason nothing lives in that river anymore.
Yes, you reverse the fucking flow of it.
so you can add a d8 to this.
Okay, so I'm gonna roll the mind and then shoot, and then the shooting, and then the d8, and then the d12.
Yes.
Mind. Shooting. D8. Ow. And d12. Okay, so that is 3 successes.
3 successes. Okay, not bad. Yeah, no, it's better than average. You're able to land your shots relatively well. Like, it's not like this doesn't require as much of a pinpoint as the other option that Roman was taking the lead on. You're more hitting likely areas of where you'll do the most damage instead of specifically hitting like I need to hit the door of the stairwell or something like that. You're more like going like this is where like a structural beam might be, or this is this
so
might
if I hit the bomb right here, right,
yeah,
it'll set everything on fire, and then in about 2 or 3 minutes, it'll shake down a little bit, and then the steel will blow up.
Stuff like that, like general kind of area hits, but you're not like saturating it. So it's kind of the middle ground. But it's somewhat successful. You think you've got a somewhat good grasp of it.
Yep, and then it's weapon maintenance for the end of the night.
And then you've got your weapon maintenance for the rest of the night. So basically what I'm...
Not bad.
I was just gonna make you roll.
No, I just wanted to roll. I just wanted to roll my die to see what it looked like.
Yeah, no. Actually, I wasn't gonna make you roll anything because it's more of a preventative thing. So you're just kind of spending.
Yeah, like
you're
dedicating
the
everything
time
and cleans it, and
you're dedicating the time to.
He puts a little extra oil on the cylinder on Roman's silenced pistol just to
tightening the seals on the Molotovs slightly, making sure they're all good, stuff like that. Like just making sure nothing's out of place. So that's good. Roman, you had one shift that wasn't accounted for today. What do you want to do?
It's the night shift, isn't it?
It's whatever. Yes. Yes.
The last shift of the day.
Yeah.
So, night.
Sure.
Happens
whenever you want it to happen.
The other bank.
Okay.
Quietly, not getting too close, just kind of see if I can. Any guards on the riverside of the boat, things like that.
Got it. So, okay. It's actually fairly easy to kind of go on the other side of the bank, because the other side of the bank in the Woodruff area is the location of the big Portage Motor Company headquarters. So there's like one of the largest vehicle manufacturers in the country kind of has their headquarters there. So there's a lot of people coming and going, and it's fairly active. So you don't stand out of place really. So it'll be a mind observation check while you spend a couple hours there, just kind of observing, since you are on the opposite bank.
Four successes, sir.
4 successes, okay. So what you see is on the surface a old, partially deconstructed riverboat next to a dock, next to a whole bunch of unused storehouses. But as you're aware of what it actually is, and because of your keen eyes, there are telltale signs that it's not just an empty hulk on the bank of the river. It's every so often you see maybe a light from somebody's lighter or a lantern through a porthole that was dark. Little shifting of something on deck as somebody moves around in the shadows. A slight off-color mist or vapor coming out of the stacks. Not enough to really draw attention to it if you weren't looking for it. And every so often, I think you see it once in your 4 hours there, a vehicle will pull up nearby. You can see it just on the opposite side of the boat, and a couple of people will get out of the boat, take some things from a local or from a nearby storehouse and load it onto the vehicle, and then the vehicle will leave. And those people, some of them get on the vehicle, some of them don't, and the ones that don't mill around for a little bit, maybe take a smoke, something like that, go back on the boat. Looks like it's still active. Looks like stuff's still being taken away from it. And it isn't deep in the night, so maybe, since you don't see anything being taken out of the boat, maybe that doesn't happen until later at night. Because they take stuff out of the storehouse that's next to it. So they might be storing things in there. That's what you get from there. If there was that's generally, if there was anything specific you wanted, then you got enough successes that you could probably see it.
Anything in the water that would be considered an obstacle near to the riverboat, or any guards on my side of the boat?
Oh, shitload of obstacles. It's an old breaker's yard. So, so it's a good thing you came here, because if you didn't, this would be a big surprise. That may have been mechanically set here for a reason. So there are what looks to be, because this was an old breaker's yard, there's a lot of temporary docks that get set up and then taken down as things are like broken up on these riverboats, because there's no real, like, you can't have like a dry dock or something to bring them in and then bring them down from. So they have to be done in the water, and it's better not to have them sink before they're ready to be kind of hauled out of the water, just the hull. So here and there's like maybe a pole from an old dock kind of midway out, a little further than it should be. There's a couple of nets that are hung between poles used to like catch things that maybe fall off of boats that they get caught up in there so they don't go down river, that haven't been taken down. So a couple of those. It's hard to tell because it is the night, so you can't get like perfect idea, but you do know there are obstacles in the water. Like there is a decent number of obstacles in the water. Because of the way the river flows, if you were drifting, you would hit them probably when you just got about parallel with the boat. And then it gets progressively a bit more dicey as you go further down, because there's less just old dock bits and more things that are made to catch floating flotsam that is left after the boats are broken up or things get dropped. And you'd have to be like on the opposite end of the bank, which you kind of realize may be why there's a couple of river buoys that look to be like put in place kind of nearby that would tell a barge coming down, hey, avoid this little like half circle around here kind of thing. So essentially you'd be going into an area that is known to be somewhat hazardous if you don't know what you're doing. So yeah, that's what you get.
And guards?
Just gonna check, because that was a lot of information. You did get 4 though. Technically it's the best you could get unless you had help. But yeah. There's a couple. They don't move around a lot. There's 2 at the top deck in the boathouse that you definitely see. There's a long gun in there. You see the outline of. At one point, one of them like picks it up and probably does like a check, like a barrel check or something like that to make sure it's still in good order. Maybe once a day or something like that. They might do that. Looks like a long gun. Not sure if it's a shotgun or a rifle or something like that, but it's just there. And then after they check it, they lean it up against the wall again. And there's not a lot of light up there, but they might have like a little hood lantern or something. Might be playing cards because they're not like patrolling outside. They're just inside of a room on the top of the ship where the captain and like all the controls would be. So they have a good view around, 360 view. And you don't get a good look at the opposite bank, like past the ship too much. But you were told by Harry that there is a little guard shack that is manned there.
Cool. And I'm heading home.
All right. So, Lena.
So,
one shift's already been eaten up because of
yes,
the,
that's
7.
fine. So first shift is going to be map work. Trying to find the places in the documents on the maps, see if there's a general pattern, whether it's all around the river or sort of good road networks, that sort of thing.
Okay. That's a... Well, I'm gonna say if you're trying to be pattern, yeah, mind observation works because it's the most diverse, easily explainable skill combo in this game.
This game requires a lot of brain power and a lot of eye power.
It does. For certain campaigns. For definitely one of
Finally!
those campaigns.
I have dice that have rolled decent.
Ooh, success.
Yay.
Okay. So, information you get from spending time on this, from what you can gather, because it is just a road atlas, because obviously you had to do what you could get. You had to deal with what you could get. It doesn't really tell you like what the type of land is, but you make guesses about it. A lot of the territory that seems to be where the mayor has property is not actually around like very well developed road networks. It's also not very heavily populated. It's a lot of empty space in between there, in between these like clusters. They seem to be between clusters of like roads and towns, and not villages, but we don't really use that word in the United States.
Blank bits of the map.
Yeah, between those two, between them, there's a lot of blank space, but it doesn't seem like his property ownership from what you can gauge. Like you have to guess a little bit because it doesn't use the same, words and measurements to describe where they are at. It doesn't seem like there's a rhyme or reason to where these are owned. It's kind of like a smattering in a fairly generalized like area. There's no like big concentration anywhere. Just in between a couple, like 3 different settlements, which you do know one of the, at least. Yeah, no, we worked out. At least 2 of those you do know. He has dossiers on people that look to be politicians from at least 2 of those settlements.
Interesting. Okay.
No major rivers. It's northern Texas.
So the
grasslands.
Super Misty, it doesn't go through.
No, it wouldn't go through it. No, no, it's more like grazing land is the best you could like gauge it, especially from some of the pictures of like the land, because there is some like survey photos. It looks to be just undeveloped, kind of semi-flat grazing land.
Why do you want this? Okay, that's cool. Second shift, if Harry is amenable, she's going to learn to use the body machine herself.
Okay, Harry has used it once, so if you would like, Harry, you can waste one of your or you could use one of your shifts to provide Lena a D8 in a help action just automatically.
Oh, just automatically.
Yeah, just automatic, because you're basically just coaching her on what you've learned.
Okay.
So it's basically if you wanted to not do it automatically, you could also roll and potentially learn more yourself, or if you're just trying to get you both up to a general level of familiarity with it. Depends on what you want, but you have a chance of not succeeding the help action and hindering things if you roll for it. So it's kind of cost benefit, whatever one you want to do.
Yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, so I'll just focus on training on that. Sorry, I'm just really tired.
No, it's fine. We're almost towards the end of the session. I think we got 25 minutes left. So you can hold on till there. We'll be good. So, Lena, go ahead and roll a whatever I told Utari to roll. What was it?
Pretty sure it was mind up, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, it was mind observation. It was just none other mind, but with an extra D8 because
I'm giving it to you automatically.
Yeah. Harry's helping you because he's learned a couple of tricks with how to work the machine. Okay.
One.
Okay. Yeah, Lena's not super familiar with how this stuff works. Just in general, not as familiar with this kind of machinery. You understand how, in principle, it could work. But if you were trying to formulate like who does what during the mission, Harry, you would know how to work it more innately. You'd have a lower DC. Let's just say this mechanically, you'd have a lower DC to it than Lena would at this point. But Lena, you could check on it if you needed to. Like, it's not like you're unable to. So, and you didn't fail all of those, so you don't have a negative to the roll whenever it comes up.
Nice.
So, and remember, it provides a bonus when you use it. Like in action, will provide a D8, so innately.
So third is helping Team Firebomb sabotage. So that's fine. And then 4, she's going to quietly sit in the same room as Larence while he's doing his thing, but she's going to go through her infiltration kit, make sure all her ropes and things are up to snuff, make sure there's no holes or anything in her sneaking clothes. If Harry wants anything looked over as well, she'll do that. Make sure her lockpicks are okay. Basically, make sure she's prepped.
Okay, just basically the same thing Larence does, but for your team stuff.
Yeah.
No, that's totally fine. You spend that time working on all that, which is good because you're probably going to need that. All right. Harry, you have 2 free shifts. What do you want to do with them?
More on the radio.
More on the radio. Okay, so
This is like a key plan.
You teach.
I'm cool on the stealth, but I need to learn more on the radio.
Yeah, you teach Lena a couple of things. You're going like, I could spend more time on this.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Go ahead and make another mind ops check, and we're gonna see if you learn any more on it. Basically, all this is doing is lowering the DC of what it'll eventually be for every few successes this leads to. That's how I'm running it. So. So let's just say this: you're very close to a threshold to lowering a DC by a step. So.
Okay.
Cool. So go ahead and roll it, and we'll see what you get.
So what dice again?
Mind observation.
Larence is humming to himself while doing his work.
Observation.
Shit.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah. Well done.
666.
Okay.
Number of the beast.
Yeah. Which
Harry's a beast.
is a beast.
Beast mode engaged.
Yeah. Well, you'll be happy to know that the DC on the real thing is going to be lowered by 1.
Yay.
Which is good. So that's you've made that threshold there. And what would you like to do for your last free shift before game day?
You know, I haven't really thought that. I didn't expect that roll to go so well.
I mean, you could just take a. There's a lot of different things you can do. Oh well, no, I'm not letting people do things consecutively on a day.
That's fair, I suppose, yeah.
Technically, he had 2 separate things involving the machine, but it wasn't the same thing.
That's true.
On that.
That's true.
So yeah. I mean, you've got.
I mean, we've done the stealth training. I've done the radio training. I guess a bit more training on trying to deceive people in case we get rumbled and I need to talk my way out.
Oh, like trying to work out like okay, all right. So Harry looking at a mirror.
Cover stories.
Just trying to be convincing about that. Okay, I can see that. Yeah, go ahead and make a.
I mean, my experience from my last job.
Yeah, that's true.
Don't tell me it's important because, you know.
Yeah, the I'm supposed to be here training.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead. Duke, get down from there. I heard that.
I do.
Hi, Duke.
Hey, Duke.
He got up onto the 3rd shelf of that that bookshelf. Which isn't good because that's not secured at the top. So, sorry, gotta check every so often. Yeah, go ahead and make a. That's gonna be a I'm gonna say no. That's gonna be a speed negotiation or speed presence.
One success.
One success. Okay. I mean, you work through it a bit. There is the innate fact, though, that if this happens, basically you're trying to convince the people that find you that I'm with you. Kind of thing, which would be hard. So you're not exactly sure what you would say, but you try. You try times. So that happens. And I think the only one who doesn't have their stuff worked out for the day is Jack.
So, as I said for the morning, I want to go to the bank, get as many people, like, small change, like, and a few dollar bills, so, like, everyone's got, like, a... If they get separated, they can get the bus, they can call a phone, they can do just all of those kind of things.
If we end up in a situation where, like, Larence and Roman run in opposite directions in the sewer, you'd be like, hey, I'm in this area of town. Or
you each got $10 to get home with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The next thing I'm doing is I'm trying the detective again.
Okay.
Trying to put in an air of urgency onto them getting back to me because they still haven't.
Huh?
And then my evening stuff. One will be again going over. Well, first will be going over the actual news, what I'm sending to the papers, and then the next one will be my speech for what I actually unveil when I do the press conference.
Okay, well, those are 2 separate rolls that you'll have to make for that. The other 2 don't necessarily require any rolls because you're just leaving a message and taking things out of the bank. So
Yeah,
none of those require,
just,
none of those
just
require you
time.
to check anything. So that's just time. So for the speech writing one, we've already established that we're going to be using diplomacy for that because it's something that can take a little bit longer and you're trying to convince people of something. So with that, that's going to be a mind. Did we say it was mind presence?
Mind presence diplomacy.
Mind presence diplomacy. So go ahead and roll that again.
Mind presence diplomacy. Diplomacy.
Okay. Cool. So it's a pity this game doesn't have like you get so much over the initial DC for a successful check. You get double.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Exploding
That'd be
dice.
great.
Exploding dice would be nice on a max roll.
Yeah.
Wait, isn't that an
What is
optional
that?
rule at the back of the book,
I-
possibly?
I think it might be. I'd have to read it. I didn't look at the optional rules that much. Yeah. I wonder if the next game we're going to be playing eventually might have some sort of exploding dice mechanic.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Maybe.
Who knows?
Who
anyway.
knows? So
'Cause I
with 2 of
actually thought
those,
this was more like Savage Worlds where the dice exploded on maximum rolls. I thought that was actually a thing.
no, doesn't. Yeah, with that, with 2 successes, you punch it up a little bit. You just continue to refine what you've got.
Double check, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, yeah. At this point, you've actually got the final draft that will be typed on a typewriter. Everything else so far has just been handwritten scribbled until, and you'll type it up that night when you get all the information and send it to the papers the next day. So that's the plan at least. So you've got that, and then for the speech one, that speech.
Could I waver my willpower because it's going to be as much in me, in my practicing
actually,
the oration of it than it is
It'll
the
be
actual
will
writing.
presence, because your
Yeah,
presence
sure.
matters more so in this. Yeah, it'll be will presence, and you've already used diplomacy, so
Will. Well, now I can use leadership because that's specifically about orating.
true.
I think I could. That's a 1, so I'll use my ambition
Okay.
just to make sure I've got an extra success. That's 2 successes.
2 successes. Okay. Hey, you'll be happy to know that you've went down a DC because you meet the threshold. You've met the threshold of successes by 1.
Worth it.
Yeah. You go over it. Like, you do the standard speech writing kind of thing. You get in front of a mirror and you practice enunciation and, how you're going to be moving and, you're never using a full finger, always doing the
half,
curls,
just like,
the half thing,
open arms, open stance. Yeah.
yeah. Being very, and yeah, it's, you think you've got it. You got it. So I've got that. Everybody has used all their shifts for tonight. So yes.
Before everyone hits the hay, can Lena take her terrible bottle of wine that she got last episode,
Yep.
go into the Alderman's room, gather everyone, pour it out, give it a sniff, decide that it's probably awful, but hand it out?
What did we say it was? It was wine from
Canadian
Quebec.
red. Yeah, it was Canadian.
Quebec wine,
No, it
yeah.
wasn't
Canadian.
Quebec. It wasn't Quebec.
Canadian-
red.
No, no,
Quebec
it
is
was
improved
Canadian
for
wine,
wine. Yeah.
Canadian wine, yeah.
I actually
Manitoba.
looked this up though. I actually looked it up, like what Canadian wines are like. Apparently, they're quite fruity and dry. Apparently.
Well, yeah,
Makes
they would
sense.
be. It's
They probably originally were
yeah.
like just fruit wines. Like,
Yeah, they're very
yeah.
fruity, like red wines. They're dry. They can have a nutty or spicy aftertaste depending on the blend. Apparently, they can be
Yeah.
quite alright. Like if you're into red wine, they're not bad.
That would mean something if wine tasting actually worked, but scientifically it doesn't. So, you all pour, you pour
I don't
out
like so. Meh.
glasses of wine. It's wine. It
Larence
says
thinks
it's wine.
Alcohol. It's not bootleg gin. It's better than.
No, it's
whatever
not.
that is.
No, yeah, it's better than like the crap that usually gets sold right now. It's decent. Do you have a toast that you were gonna say, or
No,
no?
Larence will hold up the glass. To everybody in the room. May your glasses always be full. May the roof over your head always be strong. And may you be in heaven half an hour before the devil knows you're dead.
Devil's waiting for me.
See, I thought you were the devil.
I think the
No,
devil
we
might know him. to
we
be
just
fair.
have a very particular deal.
Well,
A very particular relationship with the devil, Roman.
Yeah, he's hired me to kill his wife.
Oh. Ooh.
I was always wondering if you played the fiddle.
Yeah, that seemed like something you do.
I've never been
do
in Georgia.
you paint houses?
I was never in Georgia. And anyone who said I was is dead.
Can't prove it.
Can't
Good job.
Well,
Cheers. Finishes
that
the wine.
everybody clinks glasses and downs a glass of
All right, wine.
all right wine, somewhat mirroring the toast that the Alderman led not too long ago for another large job that was
Then
Supposed to be
the
taken.
Tommy guns opened up through the wall.
hopefully this one goes better.
We're involved. It won't.
Far larger stakes. Far larger stakes. The party will all be in different geographical locations, not just like different building locations this time.
Roach, we're splitting the party.
I know. There's a reason.
It has to be done, unfortunately.
Yeah, no. There's a reason that next session may not necessarily feature a half of the party as much. The next session will feature the other half of the party, more so.
Well, I'll be here like cool waiting.
Yeah, essentially. So yeah, you clink glasses, you down your glass, you think back on that. And I think we're going to end tonight with that image, as I'm not going to start anything else until we have a full session ahead of us, because,
Absolutely.
yeah,
So,
a lot.
as the crew, we haven't got a name, so it's like very hard to just.
Nope. The outfit.
So, yeah. See, I have a problem with calling yourselves the outfit because it's
Because that actually.
yeah. And then I thought about the firm. Also, can't use that.
What about? We've got 2 jacks, and most of this started
The
in the red
deck.
diamond.
A deck. That's nice.
Yeah, the deck. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got 2 jacks,
A queen.
1 queen.
Yeah. What's
Not a
the
joker.
You've got a joker. Yeah.
what was that?
I was gonna make you the joker there, Harry.
That's my point.
Is Lawrence is definitely not a kid.
No, wait.
Lawrence is
And
an
we all-
ace.
Oh, no, I was gonna say, and we always have an ace up our sleeve.
Heyo!
Heyo.
Does that make Lawrence the ace? I suppose it does. I suppose.
It works.
Harry could have been a pearly king.
Yeah, it could have been.
Oh yeah,
Wow,
the
that
Pearly
timing.
Kings. Pearly Kings and Queens of
Took me
Hackney.
a while to find it.
Anyway, we will be leaving tonight's episode here. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Join us next week for yet another episode of very intense Tricogha Nights. As always, though, we have to close off by saying thank you to Commissar Roach for writing and GMing this campaign. You can find him at youtube.com/Commissar Roach. I've also been joined by the wonderful Surelyonlymikey and UtariOnzo. You can get them at Twitches by those names. And we have the awesome dynamic duo that is RivalZoneGaming and Red Moogle. You can get that at RivalZoneGaming on YouTube and Twitch. I'm Midgeman. This is the Component Cast. And, you know,
Bye.
we'll see you in July when that name's fixed. Anyway, bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.